love a buttered biscuit.
Dropped a grumpy, pardon the term, onto the bed.
Good evening, all you fine folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and squirrels from all around the world. We have another one happening tonight with possibly just may show up. She has been very, very busy, and I spoke with her earlier this week. She was like, I might be able to, not quite sure. So we'll see if she makes it. Awesome, but there are some other folks that have also been invited along, and don't feel bad if I didn't invite you, but I couldn't invite everybody. Hey Crystal, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Yeah, it's been a very busy week this week. Thank you, Insomnia. There you go. Yes, it has been a very busy week. I've got quite a few things on the plate this week going on. Hopefully, it doesn't interrupt the regular flow of the stream. But what I've got tonight for you guys is we're just continuing on with the Amber Heard testimony, and it'll happen as it happens. If we finish up this part of it today, we'll continue on. And whenever I redirect everybody, I'll be redirecting everybody over to MG Law just to give them a little bit of time to enjoy if they want to. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring this up and get this bad boy kicked off. Might as well get it started early, let you guys catch up and catch in while you can. Good to see everyone tonight. Glad you could make it, Crystal. Glad you could make it. Let's see if we can get all of this just zipping across there. Thought I had it on the right spot. But of course, it's going to be difficult because that's how YouTube works. Acts difficult. Of course, it'll probably be acting funky for a little bit. Yep, I knew it was going to do that. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Had it to the spot and it said, nope, we're going to hesitate. All right. There we go. Great. Oh, we think this case because this is how I met you, awesome people. Oh, very cool.
Okay, are we ready for the jury? Okay.
And I'll probably increase the speed on it just to get it moving along if I can. Close that so that way it'll take off some of the load. Maybe decrease the... Turn on our subtitles. There we go. Maybe drop the speed up just a little bit. We'll see what happens with the speed. Sometimes it acts funny. Sometimes it does right. Good Lord Almighty, giving me interruptions. Because this is about the time that everybody is wanting to stream. Lord Almighty, feel my temperature rising. See what it says. Experiencing heavy. Oh, don't you worry about it, Crystal. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's being a bugger right now. I have to close that down too. See if there's something else running in the background that I can close down. What a bugger. What a bugger. Maybe. Yes, I know what I can do. Quit that and see what else might be running. And there we go. That. Yep, it's all being difficult tonight. Quit that. Make sure I don't have anything. Just trying to give me a hard time here. Yeah, I'll see if I can drop the frame rates down a little bit. Quality, drop it down to 720. There we go. See if that doesn't help out. Yes. No, it's not that. It is the interwebs. Won't matter if I leave it at normal speed, speed it up, or slow it down. It's still going to do the same thing. It'll eventually smooth out. I'll show you. You'll still get the same stuff happening. Has nothing to do with the speed, trust me. I've done it before. Close that and we'll pause it. Pause it again. There we go. See, doesn't matter. Yep, it's still cringe. But I can still hang out with you guys and, talk trash. Because that's what I do sometimes. Just talk shit. Yeah, we'll pause it for a second, let it buffer in, give it about a minute or two. Hey, Hal, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. I just don't like what she did to Johnny. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like what she did to Johnny.
All right. Thank you. All right. Maybe seated. Your next question.
Increase my volume.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, can you bring up Defendant's Exhibit 236, which is all.
There we go. Yep. Buffering like crazy. Playback speed, we'll set it to
already been admitted.
Thank
normal. Set it 480. Yeah. See if that doesn't help. Oh, well, thank you. Hey, good to see you, Vladdy. Good to see you. It was awesome that you could make it.
I'm jumping back to the Boston plane incident just for a moment. We had a lot of different.
It is going to be difficult like that. So we'll end it. We'll put it back up to 720. Let it buffer in for a second there. So that way we can actually read what's going on the screen here. So what it says is, first message, once again, I find my place of shame and regret. Of course, I'm sorry. I really don't know why or what happened, but I will never do it again. I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. And I know you can't either. I must get better, and I will for us both. Starting today, I love you. Again, I am so sorry. So sorry. I love you, and I feel bad for letting you down. I see that understanding and forgiveness ain't on the menu. I'm disappointed to see that, but not too surprised, I suppose. I hear, sadly, that others will be flying back to New York tonight under something or other. Couldn't read it. Oh, thank you very much, Crystal. That is so nice of you. I definitely appreciate that. Here, I'll give you a little bit of giggles. How's that? There you go, baby giggles. I like that. There you go. Hey, cool gamer. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Oh, LSB. Who's LSB? Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Glad you could make it. All right, here we go.
A lot of exchange, but I just wanted to point out to you, this text message is from Mr. Depp to you, correct?
Yes, it
And
is.
this is.
And I'm going to look and see who all got the memberships. I can do that really quick because I had to close that screen. I was hoping it would smooth out my function on the whole thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what we've got here, let's see who all the memberships got to. Boy, it's difficult whenever this thing wants to be a pain, doesn't it? Well done, Yamaha. Oh, nice. Let's see, go in here and oh, very cool. Looks like Haley Wolf, you got a membership. Jude Curio, Yamaha, of course. Indigo Luna, awesome. And Leah Sugar Bridges. Again, thank you. Thank you very much, Crystal. That was really cool. Very cool of you.
Is on 5/25, the day after the Boston plane incident.
That's correct.
All right. And he is saying, once again, I
Thanks,
find
Crystal.
myself in a
Appreciate
place of shame and regret. Of course, I am sorry. I really don't know why or what happened, but I will never do it again. I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. I know you can't either.
Yeah, we can read
And I
that.
will for both of us, starting today. I love you. Again, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I love you and feel so bad for letting you down. Do you see that?
I do.
Oh, I think
And
everybody
Was
sees it.
that the message that you testified to, that he gave you?
Yes.
All right, now I'm going to jump back to where we left off. We're up in January of 2015. Danish girl, you're filming in London, is that correct?
Yes, that would have been January 2015.
Okay. Now,
I,
we heard some testimony from Isaac Baruch earlier about a telephone call that you had with Mr. Depp. Do you recall that call?
I do.
Can you please tell the jury and remember to tell them what Mr. Depp was saying on that call? And you can give the back. I didn't mean to cut you off on the context. Go ahead.
Is it okay to, the nature of the conversation was
Yes.
pleasant? Friendly, fine, normal.
Sure,
And,
normal. Huh?
Then
The girl wouldn't know normal if it reached up and bit her in the ass.
Johnny stopped making sense with this. Like, he'd start a sentence and then trail off and act confused when I would be confused. And that
That's
pattern
funny.
kind of increased pretty dramatically in a short amount of time. And I was in a hotel room
I know that.
in London speaking to him in Los Angeles.
She's looking at something on the ceiling. Wow. I feel so disappointed because this was the exact moment.
What I assumed cut off.
Yeah.
I thought it was a connection issue.
Oh, it is a connection issue. I have to close down the YouTube studio. Maybe that'll smooth it up a little bit. I usually have the same problem about the same time every night.
And I remember getting out of bed and walking into the bathroom to get something, and I was redialing him. And in the span of that.
Yeah, this will be happening the whole time till we get it smoothed out for the interwebs.
Short amount of time we had been disconnected. It was minutes, not even minutes. I called him back thinking the phone had been.
Oh, what a pain in the butt. I guess I'll give it a lower bit here and see if we can't drop the quality down to like 480.
Disconnected, and he answered and he said, how could you tell me that? How could you say that to me?
Yeah, it won't matter. It is the interwebs.
Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he? And he asked me that a few times.
Okay.
And I
Oh, Lord Almighty. Well, feel my temperature rising.
so confused. I didn't understand what he was talking about. I expressed that to him. He says, "Who is
Yeah, Amber, who was it? Who was it? Hmm.
the guy, the one in New York that you're fucking?"
No, trust me, it's not the feed. It is the amount of bandwidth it is that the interwebs are using currently. I've run into this for the past like couple of weeks. It's about the time that everybody is online and it's lagging. It has nothing to do with the feed. It's the feed all around the world.
And
I'm doing too many things at once on the interwebs, so that's why it's running slow.
it was such a bizarre conversation because it had already started to feel like he was not making. It was almost as if he was confused by what sentence he had started by the time he got to the end of it.
Well, that's what
And then all of a sudden
drinking and drugs do.
he tells me that I have just told him that I had a boyfriend or a lover in New York, and he's accusing me of having just told him about it, which was crazy to me. Not only was that not accurate,
Maybe she did.
I would never have communicated with him like that. More or less called him on the phone to do it and then call him back and wonder
At least 2
what
years.
the connection issue was. It was just the most bizarre thing.
Been close to 2 years.
But he was so worked up, incoherent, and accusing me of having had this conversation with him. Eventually, the line drops out, and I spoke to the person who picked up the phone.
Okay. And how did that end?
I no longer spoke to Johnny. I probably can't say what the person told me.
Are we talking about Isaac Baruch?
Yes.
Okay. So,
But yeah, she
without
can
saying
remember
he said,
what
you had
she
a brief
told him.
conversation with Mr. Baruch, and that was the end of the call.
I did. It was my
Okay,
understanding
hung up.
Johnny was passed
Objection,
out.
hearsay.
Okay.
Sustain.
All right. January 25, 2015, Tokyo. Please tell, it's the premiere of Mordecai, correct? Did you accompany Mr. Depp to Tokyo for the premiere of Mordecai?
I did. When I was,
Please tell the jury about that trip.
Oh my.
well, I had just started to pick out the wedding dress right before that trip,
Oh yeah.
and plans were moving for us to get married.
It's going for
shortly
the
after
black lady look.
this
right
trip.
now.
So we took this trip to promote his movie. I went with him. We got in an
Chic
argument
bad
in the
lady.
hotel room, and I said, I don't remember what I said to him, but I said something snotty to him that provoked him. It provoked him, and when I walked into the hallway, he grabbed me by the arm and slammed me up against the hallway wall, and I kind of struggled with him, tried to push him off of me, and
Just
I
always
managed to
sounds
get
like
out of
this
his
constant
grasp
abuse that he's doing.
enough to take a few steps, and I kind of curved around and went into the closet. And by the time I made it into the closet, he had me by the hair, and what felt like he was just wailing on me, but in a really sloppy way, like hitting the back of my head and kind of wrestled me down to the floor. I mean, it felt to me like I didn't even have a fair shot because I wasn't facing him or looking at him. I was walking away from him. Or else, I would have at this point even I would have tried to defend myself more, but I didn't. I kind of felt like it didn't see it coming, and he just wrestled me down to the ground. And I remember he was screaming at me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like really screaming loud. And what I remember of that is trying to get up and him kind of wrestling me back down, and at one point put his knee on my back,
You always tell when she's lying.
kind of like kneeling on my
Got her
back.
pals.
And I just had this like struggle with him. And I look at him and he's still got his glasses on. I just remember looking at him and thinking that was so, I mean, he just looked like he hadn't been through anything. You know, he still had his glasses on, sunglasses. And he was
Probably
screaming
'cause he
at
had
me
them.
that he hated me.
He was
It
probably
was
yelling at her.
over. He didn't want to marry me. He was disgusted. He was disgusted. He made this mistake. It was a big mistake. And everyone
I can
hated
see
me.
him saying that.
And
She disgusts
I remember
me, so
crying
I can understand. I would be
on
feeling
the
the same
floor.
way.
Just
Looking at the floor, all I
more
could
than
see
anything
was
was
wondering
heartbroken.
why
I
it wasn't clean
thought maybe
again.
I'm serious. I thought maybe God, he doesn't love me. Maybe he really feels this way. It broke my heart. Broke my heart. I wanted to marry him so bad. I wanted.
She
This
wanted
is
to
the
get
man I
that
loved,
cha-ching,
you know.
that money.
Yes, it was awful at times, but I loved him and what he
Objection,
was
Your
saying.
Honor, non-responsive.
There you go.
What he was saying to me hurt just as bad as anything else. I just remember that he left me on the closet floor,
Oh,
and
closet, huh?
is embarrassing or
You're embarrassed, huh? Things that didn't
embarrassing as
happen.
it is to say, I went up to him at some point. I don't know how much time had passed. He was sitting at the piano in the living room of the hotel room that we had.
Oh, sure. Woe is you, little girl.
It's so, I know it may be hard to understand. It's hard for me to hear myself say, but I just wanted it to stop. I wanted things to just be okay. And I just sat next to him on the piano and I just leaned my head on his shoulder, and it was, of course I was mad. Of course I was mad and felt it was horrible what he'd done. But on the other hand, I wanted us to be okay. I could just put I could put the physical stuff in a box, and I just kept going back on how much I love this person.
Sure.
So just
How much money you were supposed to get off of it. And no tears.
The premiere with him, and
Not a single tear. Rubbing the
on the red
nose,
carpet
no
with him,
tears.
and I remember in the car checking my phone obsessively for pictures because my dress was backless. Of all times to have a backless dress. And I was just looking at I was looking at pictures of us on the red carpet. It was surreal because I was checking for bruises and making sure that nothing, like there would be no marks on me, and we just looked like this other thing on this red carpet when it was just it was not like that.
Not a single teardrop. Not a single teardrop.
It's embarrassing.
Why is she wiping her face? There's no tears.
It's hard to.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
I'm going to
Wiping her
you
face.
to
There's no
February
tears.
next
All
month,
camera.
2015, to your wedding. Can you please tell the jury about your wedding?
It was
Get married
beautiful. It was
in Los
glorious. And
Angeles. I get a sense that we were just
Wiping her
sitting-
face, but there's no
the
tears.
wedding-
Good Lord,
wedding
woman.
around Los Angeles. I was getting married that day, and I remember running around I went to therapy, and, got ready, and Johnny and I met at the penthouses downtown, and I wore a white dress and
So confusing.
a veil and bobby pinned in my hair. And I walked out of that penthouse. I met with Johnny in the hallway, and I thought he looked so,
And she goes from
handsome.
one extreme to the next.
and he seemed happy,
Hmm.
and I felt we were making the right decision. I was so looking forward to having this. I thought
It's right after
when
he
we get married and we have
beat you on the
stability,
red carpet and
safety.
threw you into walls and
So I
bruised you up and
we get in the
all these
car, we
horrible
get
things to
into
you.
actually Johnny's car, and for the second time
Mhm.
since I've known Johnny, he drove himself, drove us in his truck. It was weird being in the car with him alone. We didn't have that. And we drove to his mom's house, and a justice of the peace arrived, looking kind of surprised. And she never
Damn it. I was hoping we could speed it up because she is
married
so
us in the living
tedious.
room of his mother's house, Betty Sue, with our families together.
Damn it. I messed it up, didn't I?
My best friend, my mom, his mom. We ate food with the kids. They were there,
I hope you ate.
and we had a wonderful evening, and then got up and got on the plane either the next morning or the day after, and flew to Johnny's Island. And we had what we had planned for the better, we had planned for the better part of a year or so, maybe 8 months, for this
I will tell you, if I was
3-day wedding
beating my
on his
wife
island,
before we got
with
married,
our
there
close
would have been
friends,
no
about
plans
12
made past
people,
the
maybe
first time that I
15
beat her.
people.
Good Lord.
We had these little houses built, like not tents, but not houses. These little, for the guests, we had them built and designed on the island, and we had people come out, and it was magic. I
It was
marrying
magic.
the love of
I
my
don't
life.
believe your eyes.
It was complicated, but I thought it was the love of my life. And we had our friends and family out, and we had this 3-day event. The first night of which was supposed to be he and I separate, with our relative parties. So me with the bridal party and him with his fellas. The bridal party, we had planned to do a cuddle puddle,
A
have
cuddle bottle.
mushrooms and drink wine, and have our own
Oh,
girl
I
party.
forgot about that. The
separate.
cuddle puddle.
And then the next day have the wedding festivities. We were going to be married around sunset, and on this beach,
Hey,
not
Pastor
the
Rapture.
beach that Johnny had named for me, although I think we originally planned on having the
Wow, Pastor Rapture. That's pretty cool. Glad that you could show up over there on the Rumble side. It's pretty awesome. Glad you could make it. And I think you said that before. It's almost like you got that put in there for constant. Cool. Glad you got it. Good to see you there, brother. Enjoy. Hope that you're enjoying your evening, and yeah, it's up to you. You can watch it or you don't have to watch it. Matters not, because this is what I've been pulling up for the evening, and if people are enjoying it, they're most welcome to enjoy it. But I'm glad you could come over and share your input. Thank you very much. All that is awesome. I appreciate whenever I get some fine folks over there on the Rumble side. Sorry, Rumble is a little funky tonight. So if I don't respond right away, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I'm not able to. So Rumble acts a little bit funky this time of night. So but that's how it goes. That's part of the streaming portion of it.
Ceremony on that beach, but it was changed at some point to the other beach.
See,
And we walked down the aisle, well, the beach aisle, and said our vows, and the sunset behind us, and we took pictures with our family, and we shot the bird, meaning the middle finger, up at the paparazzi helicopter circling, or plane circling around us while we were on the altar. And we danced and celebrated. And then I left
and then
the
you
island
left.
because I had to go work.
That's what you do.
When you say you left the island, you had to go to work, what were you working on that required that?
I was filming The Danish Girl in London,
London.
which is the film that I had been in London for in January when Johnny was hallucinating on the phone with me. I was there doing kind of prep work for that film.
And what, if any, film was Mr. Depp going to at that point?
Well, the plan why we did the wedding when we did it is because he had always had this commitment to do Pirates 5.
Pirates 5, huh?
And he was going to shoot that in Australia, and I was going to shoot The Danish Girl. And I started The Danish Girl in early February, and he was going to fly out
Don't shoot the Danish girl. Don't shoot the Danish girl.
February to Australia. So his movie was going to take the majority of the year, meaning until August. So maybe longer. So the plan was to do it when we did it so that we didn't have to wait until the fall of the following year. So
Oh my.
shortly after I left, Johnny returned to Los Angeles and then flew from Los Angeles on to Australia to shoot.
Lord Almighty, I feel my
P5,
temperature
Pirates 5, excuse me.
rising.
Okay. And what was the plan for you when you finished with Danish Girl?
The plan was always for me to wrap on my movie and then come and join him in Australia, where he was filming P5. Pirates 5.
Okay. And when approximately was that?
That was March 3rd.
March 3rd that you wrapped, that you finished with Danish Girl?
I believe, I can't recall the exact date, but I believe it was around that time. Yes.
Okay. And then tell the jury, where did you fly to get to Australia? How long of a turnaround was it for you to get to Australia?
It was about 24-hour. I think it's about 24 hours. I could be mistaken on the exact
Probably are. Generally are mistaken on a lot of
amount
stuff.
of time, but I remember it's quite a distance from London. I was filming in London. He was filming in Australia. Effectively, you have to fly 12 hours.
If I drop this thing down to
Stop,
360,
get on a different plane and fly, I think around the same amount of time, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So
good Lord Almighty. almighty.
When you arrived, before you finished rapping with Danish Girl and were heading out shortly before, what
What, if anything? Good Lord.
if any?
Oh, geez. What, if any? That is her key words. Elaine. What, if any? Bredenhoff. What, if any? Bredenhoff. Good Lord Almighty. Here we go. Here's one for you.
Oh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must have been something before electricity, huh? Okay. Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Communications did you and Mr. Depp have?
Well, at first it was great. Even though we were separated, it was so hard to
Do anything?
leave
Speak.
right after you get married,
Oh,
especially considering that in Johnny and I's relationship, it was always so much worse when I went away to work. That's
always
when
worse.
Problems started. So that was hard, but we communicated pretty consistently, and it was positive until it.
he
it
told you you
started
didn't have to work,
change, and
but you were already moving on to the
I
next
got
thing.
the sense that he thought
Just
I
can't go
was
just
sleeping with the director, and then it was with
Whatever you wanted.
the actor I was filming with,
Who was the actor you were filming with?
Eddie Redmayne.
Okay.
I was not
Of
that it
course.
mattered, but
Of course
I
she
would
was.
do my best to field the accusations, and then they would kind of subside, and I thought things were okay.
No, of course.
And one
Doing
day, right before I'm
crappy
supposed to fly to
things.
Australia,
That's how
he
you are.
like
You're
right
Amber Heard.
I think it was the
Or
night
person.
before I was supposed to leave to go to Australia. He calls my hotel room.
What is any cure cures everything, don't you know? Amica.
Apparently, I had a sense that the phone was ringing. I think I was in the shower at the time, but not much time had passed, and I get a knock on the door, and it was someone from the hotel that I was staying at. The hotel staff had been sent up to the room because Johnny,
Objection calls
Calls for hearsay.
for hearsay
Lord.
and speculation.
Sustain the objection.
So don't tell what the staff said, what
Okay.
happened next.
then I start communicating with Johnny.
And when you say started, I mean, was he on the phone? Did you call him? What happened here?
He called the room and then my cell phone. And then once I was on the cell phone, he was accusing me of not being in my room. So he called the room, and I had to prove that I was in the room because.
Lord Almighty. She's being difficult again tonight. What I may do is I may just drop Kick for the time being. Sorry if anybody's over there watching on Kick, you're about to get dumped because I'm having problems with the streaming, and we're gonna remove that for just tonight. So let's dump that here, and I'm gonna just continue on and see if we don't get some better stuff happening. So sorry, Kick, but we're gonna kick you for tonight. See if we can't get better results. We're working through it. Sorry.
By answering the phone. And we had a lengthy kind of circular conversation about where I was and why I didn't answer the phone, immediately. He didn't sound like he was connected to reality. It just didn't seem like, to me, it seemed like a previous pattern. I was unsure what
It seemed to smooth it out.
He wasn't right in front of me, but he was accusing me of what it seemed like is having.
Yeah, because the past couple of nights, whenever I start streaming, I've been having issues, and if I have Kick running in the background, it tends to freeze everything up, and I'm wondering if maybe that's where my bandwidth issues are. It may be using more bandwidth than it needs to. So, yeah, Kick is getting dropped for right now. So that's where we're at with that.
I guess, a fair or a reason to not be in the room that I got a sense from him was
Yep, seems to
you know,
smoothed it up.
cheating or on, you know, that I was hiding something and I was why I wasn't
Started
answering the phone,
increasing
and
my
hence why
video.
I got the knock on the door.
Yeah, I'll increase. There
That
we
was
go.
right before I left.
So as you're
Yeah,
heading,
so
before you headed to Australia,
that's what the
what if
problem
any
was Kick.
requests did you make of Mr. Depp
Yeah,
for
definitely
him to
better.
get you MDMA?
That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Why is that ridiculous?
Sorry, Kick.
Because I would never, since that time I learned my lesson the hard way on the plane to Russia, I would never do MDMA with him.
Oh,
That's-
really?
I'm
Oh,
asking for a problem in that case. Like that, I would never do that.
Okay.
that's
So
not what
you
everybody else
flew
said.
to Australia.
Thank you,
and
Flatty. I
met
appreciate you.
with Mr. Depp, right? And I'm going to, can we pull up defendants?
Yeah, just as we spoke, definitely better. It still could be something going on with the
And Your Honor,
stuff.
these are some of the pictures that Mr. King, you may recall, was testifying earlier, said he had on his phone.
Objection. Yeah, I'll drop the resolution back down here. That was worth it. It worked for a second.
And then those were given, so.
So I
Bring it
don't
down to
have
480.
these, what you're saying. Okay, that's fine. 1809.
Oh no, I've already got
Just
YouTube
gonna show
Premium.
you a few pictures.
It won't matter. Even if I
Do
download
you
it,
recognize?
still
And
would
I
be a
realize you
problem.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
take this photo. I'm going to move the admission of it, though, Your Honor.
Any objection to 1809?
No, thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, 1809 in evidence. You can publish.
And let me-
It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the bandwidth going
that's
to and
one
from the
one to the other
to
side.
service
Tried
to the internet, not to
give
my
it
home.
strangeness of it.
If there was an issue there,
May I put you on?
Yes,
that's a pretty picture.
I appreciate it.
Amber, do you recognize this
Recognize this.
photo?
I do.
And could you tell the jury what this is?
That is the driveway leading up to the house that Johnny was renting while shooting Pirates 5.
In Australia.
And then I'm going to. I'm going to try to make this a little faster, and I'm going to go 1810. I'm going to
Ms. Bretterhoff, if you have a series
Mm-hmm.
of photos, if you want to
Yes.
show council what they are, maybe we can get them entered all together and then you could just
yes,
go on with your questions.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. I'm letting it catch up for a little bit. Like I said, it's bandwidth going. Driveway beats me. Wow. No, this is where she took her first relief of the day
In fact,
before he smacked her on the nose with newspaper and
all I
said,
will
"Bad
represent
dog."
ones that we got from Mr. King.
All right, if you want to take a look at them.
And Your Honor,
Oh,
if I
we
may
were
just
talking
approach,
about
I'll give
Amber.
the
Sorry.
whole stack.
Okay,
Ooh,
that's
that might
fine.
be-
Good Lord Almighty. I heard that Amber was a stripper at one point in time. Is that true? Well, somebody was.
By the way, Amber, you see those kangaroos in there?
When I was pulling up to the house, I saw kangaroos as well.
Yeah, there's a reason why Amber
These
can't
are
go
the
back
big
to
white-
Australia. Oh, she's gonna have a hard time getting
It
there.
was a
I
pretty
don't
ice.
have any objection. Sorry.
No objection to any of them?
I don't believe so, Your
But
Honor.
but make sure you look through them all too. I just want to make sure, because
Thank
I'll
you,
go ahead
Your
and read them into the record once you have looked through them all.
Wait, she's always trying to work some kind of poll. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Or what was it? Well, yeah, right. Where her underdocumented dogs first spoiled the ecosystem. Yeah, they could have. They could have. There's a reason why Australia doesn't want those foreign animals coming in that haven't been quarantined. There's certain things that Australia
Your
does
Honor,
not
I
have.
reviewed them.
Like they've never found, if I'm not mistaken, they've never had a single case of rabies.
I have
And
no
they're trying to
objection
keep
to
it
any
that
of these
way.
photographs.
So we'll enter into evidence defendants 1804,
Something like that.
1805,
Can't remember what it is.
1806, 1807,
Good Lord.
1807,
1808, 1809, 1810, and 1811, 1812. Yeah, let's just dump a whole bunch of images on people.
1808, 1810, 1811, 1812, 1814, 1815, 1816, 1817, 1819, 1820, 1821, 1825, 1827, 1828,
Jesus.
1829, 1830, 1831,
Oh, my Lord.
1834, 1835,
These are pictures of my family vacation.
1838, 1839,
Oh, my Lord.
1840,
Oh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must have been something before electricity, huh? You're okay. Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook in it.
Did I get them all? I believe so.
make sure more than believe so. We agree that's all in evidence? Okay. They're all in evidence. So as long as you're just going to be referencing those photos, we'll keep it on
We're
for
gonna
you to
keep it
publish
moving.
them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, that is about right. They don't want their stuff getting any more deadly.
Whose home was this in Australia?
It was a
It was a
I think like
uh,
a well-known sportsman, racing cars or something of that nature.
Okay,
you don't know?
let's, Michelle, if you can pull up 1810.
Good Lord.
Is this another picture from that home?
Yes, that looks like it's the view from the bathroom.
Okay. And then let's go, Michelle, if you can pull up 1811. Is that a picture of the home?
That's the house, yes.
Okay. And let's go to 1812.
All right. We're going to see this picture too.
That's
Hey,
the
I
view
like
from
that.
the
An infinity pool.
living room. It opened into a lagoon.
That's pretty neat. I like it.
And then let's look at 1813. I guess that's just another view, little over of the swimming pool, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's do one more, 1814.
Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is inside the house.
Yes.
Oh, some sunflowers. Pretty neat little place. Looks like they've got a
And if you can.
two
look to
double
the back
ovens.
here where I've got my.
Damn.
What if anything is that back there?
That's the kitchen.
Yeah, it's 2 double ovens right there in the kitchen.
Okay, this is the dining room and this is the.
2 double ovens right
What
there.
we're looking at is the dining room table on the main level with the kitchen in the background.
Either that or it's a double oven and a microwave. Probably a double oven and a microwave. I was like, damn,
Thank you.
they're styling if
Now
they've
I'm
got 2
going
double
to
ovens
ask
in there.
you to take this jury through your experience, what happened in Australia once you were.
Well, I landed and well, I was eating, some small children and they were fighting me every step of the way. I wasn't draining them of their,
Well,
their life force fast enough, and
I was
Mhm.
nervous because
Nervous.
of the conversations that I had with
Because you weren't-
him before I left.
you were nervous because your ass was about to get arrested is what you were nervous about, woman.
And then
He told you not to bring the
In-
dogs.
in transit, I stopped in Dubai and spoke to him too. So I was a little nervous,
I'm sure you were.
but he indicated me that he wanted me to come. He said, I miss my wife at the end of the phone call that we had in the,
Just because he said he wanted you to come doesn't mean he wanted you to be there.
in the airport.
Just saying. I mean, it could have been any reason he wanted you to come. And it didn't say he wanted you to be there. He just said he wanted you to come. Big difference.
I called him from Dubai. And he said, I miss my wife. I felt okay, safe to, it's good. And I missed him so much, that's all I want. All I wanted to do is see my new husband. I flew in, I arrived early. I walked into the bedroom. I was so excited to see him.
And he was mad because I had the
And
dogs. My dog stepped on a bee.
So like he had lost a ton of weight. So.
Well, yeah, he was getting fit for his stuff.
And he kind of quickly.
My wife would be happy if I lost a ton of weight.
Kissed me and kind of we had some interaction. It was brief. He was leaving to go work that day.
So I gotta go. Thank you for that.
The plan was he would come back,
face off,
which he did in the evening, and then he was supposed to have a 3-day weekend, a long weekend. So he comes back that evening, and the chef had kind of prepared some things for the fridge, mashed potatoes, I think some spinach as well. There's some steaks in the fridge, but he had kind of prepped some of the sides. And I was looking forward to having this kind of, our style at-home date. We've just been, we're a new married couple. We hadn't seen each other for.
Do you think she knows how to cook?
After getting married, and
doesn't appear to me that she seems like a person knows how to cook. I'm sure she does, but
happy to see him. And at some point early in that evening, he pulls out a bag of MDMA. I asked him what it was, and he told me it was MDMA. And I was surprised because at the time, that was, there was no question mark as to how I would respond to that. Or so I thought.
Sure.
It's like, why would you even think that that's okay? He had already gotten clean and sober. I was, touch and go. But for the wedding, he was drinking Beck's. I think at some point he did have wine on the island, but it wasn't an issue, right? Just moved ahead. So I was surprised that he would even pull out this bag and, well, frankly, not hide it from me. And he kind of seemed to suggest that we should do it together. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I just got here. I want to see you. I want to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm.
It was the exact opposite of what I expected and what I wanted. And it just seemed delusional at the time to me that he would even suggest this to be something that I could participate in with him. if you had been through what I had been through at that point, it's crazy. And at some point,
Mhm.
he drinks in front of me. At first, I think it was like a Malbec or a wine or something. And I remember we hadn't, like, it kind of started an argument. And that was upstairs in that room that we just looked at a picture of, by the sunflowers. That's more or less where we were standing, just closer to the kitchen. And we get in an argument, and I shove past him, just stomp off. And he grabs me. We have an argument about me walking away, and am I walking out of this? And in my head, I was like, I actually wasn't thinking of leaving yet, but
Now
that would
you're
later be going through my mind.
Mhm.
We had a brief interaction, and I don't remember the exact sequence of things. I wish I did.
Oh, of course.
I have a lot of flashes. It gets a little bit more confusing from
Yeah.
my ability to recall
The truth is hard to remember,
everything
isn't
in a
it?
linear way a little later on.
Trying
as
to
things got
trying to
crazier.
trying to remember the lies that
But
you've
for
told.
this part, the first night, what I distinctly remember is at one point, I don't think I had gotten very far, or maybe I came back into the room, but when he shoved me, I went flying across these parakeet floors. I mean, just skidding across these floors.
Parakeet?
And I remember thinking it just looked so easy
You
for
mean
him
parquet?
to throw me around like that, I just slid, screeching my skin against this like beautiful wooden floor. And we had another argument that was a spin-off
Huh?
from that. It was just kind of this on off sort of thing
Parakeet?
that I remember eventually in this interaction, he shoves me up against the fridge. He has me by the throat.
Fred has a throat.
And he just was holding me there by my throat. And I wondered if it was the drugs. I wondered if it was him. It hadn't, in my recollection, hadn't been that long.
I think I need a jelly bean.
He has me up against the throat. He's kind of bashing me against the wall next to the fridge. We're kind of moving in that area.
Kind of moving in that area, somewhere around there, sort of, kind of.
I don't know if he had let go of my neck or loosened my grip, but
something
I remember slapping him
happened, but
across the face.
probably a lie. I just can't remember the lies I've
Screaming
told
at
over the
him.
years, so I'm just going to tell you
Screaming at
the
me.
lies I can remember that I
got my hand free
told.
when he tried to grab me when I walked off.
Hmm.
I
Really?
stormed off. I slammed the door
Jelly
upstairs.
beans.
I don't know if it was in that instance or if it was in a later one that I eventually barricaded the door.
Barricaded, huh?
It couldn't.
Really?
It wouldn't stop him from coming in. He could come in the other doors. There's
Mhm.
plenty of the back door. There's patio, but at least I'd hear it.
Dr. Pepper Jelly Bean.
This is March 2015. By this time, I'm being medicated by his doctor. He's giving me anti-anxiety meds,
Mhm.
giving me, had already tried to give me antidepressants. They didn't work for obvious reasons, I hope. I wasn't sleeping.
Obvious reasons, you hope?
Insomnia. I'd wake up with panic attacks. I needed to sleep, but my ability to do so was really, really compromised at this point. And I kept thinking that I just wanted to hear him or know if he came in so I could be aware, so I could be ready for what was going to come in with him. And at some point I go back down stairs. I don't really know at what point I gave up and stayed behind my barricaded door, but I managed to go to sleep. I took some sleeping pills. I woke up, and when I came downstairs, he was still up. He confirmed that when I asked him that he had not slept. He had not eaten, so I tried to get him to eat. We get in an argument.
Right.
He was accusing me of Eddie Redmayne. And by this point, he thought I was working with Billy Bob Thornton on the movie I just shot, but I had already worked with him a year earlier. But he was very upset about
Mhm.
him and the gentleman that invited me to a concert
Oh.
in London. You know, my co-star, he was upset about these people, even though I had done that movie a year prior.
Who was
I
that?
done nothing wrong.
It was Billy Bob Thornton, Jim Sturgis, and Eddie Redmayne that he was upset about.
And let me just
Oh.
stop you for a moment. Have you seen Mr. Depp take any drugs by this point?
Oh yeah, sorry if I
Of course.
left that out. That when we had the argument about the MDMA, he suggested to me that it wasn't on the no-fly list, like it wasn't on the no list. That was his argument. That was his defense. Like, this isn't the
Defense.
you
Just
didn't
need
say
a
I couldn't
defense.
have
He's a grown fucking man.
this, and you know, over and over again, Johnny told me I wasn't the reason he was getting sober, but I was the reason he was staying sober.
Sure. Sure,
I
sweetheart.
saved his life and all this stuff. I wasn't like it wasn't my job to police him, but I kind of ended up being in that situation.
just our
like,
voice.
in his mind. You know, when he would
All right, cool,
express that
gamer.
to me.
You have a good
So
one.
He took
Glad you stopped by.
a handful of pills, and I didn't count how many,
Peace.
but when I came back downstairs, I did the math on the amount that was left, and I think it was either 8 or 10. I can't recall as I sit here now, either 8 or 10 pills
Mm-hmm.
of MDMA.
That he had
And you took
taken
them?
or that were left?
I don't. I remember we had a conversation about the amount that he took. So
Okay.
I remember saying, "You took
Objection,
all of
hearsay.
It is.
I'll sustain the objection.
them." There were only a few left in the bag, so I think it was what he took.
No.
And I said, Johnny,
Yeah.
or
Objection, hearsay.
She did most of the recording.
he confirmed that he took that amount and that he could take that amount.
And what amount?
At this point, there were 10. He had taken 10,
Uh-huh.
8 or 10. I can't recall.
And when you say at this point.
8
is
or
that the
10,
first
which
day?
was
Is that
it?
the second day?
This is the second day. This is after I've already fallen asleep for the night in the room upstairs. Come back downstairs. He was still awake.
Okay, please continue with that second day.
Mine is so hard. Yeah. Rest in peace, Jerry Judge.
He was
Yeah,
accusing
right.
me of being mean to his sister. He was accusing me of not liking his sister. Something
Yeah. Which is true.
about the wedding.
Her sister,
I
his
was
sister
trying
seems
to,
pretty brash.
put
I can
out that
see where
fire, as you
delicate
will. I was
flower
trying to
heart
say,
would
no,
be
no, no.
pissed.
First of all, I'm not filming with Billy Bob. No, I wasn't filming
Mhm.
with Jim Sturgis. Yes, I filmed with Eddie Redmayne, but he was a lovely gentleman.
Objection,
I-
Honor, hearsay.
It's not offered to prove the truth
Yeah.
of the matter.
Overruled.
Mhm.
And then when it came up with his sister, he
Oh, shit.
was accusing me of having
Holy cow, gutter girl. Look at you. Shizzy, pinch me. Girl, I'll pinch you all the time. Good to see you, gutter girl. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks again for your help, support, friendship. Hey, I'm glad that you got all of the monetization. You had a great group of people there last night. You had a good show. Sorry I couldn't hang out longer, but I did have to get up early this morning. So thank you. So, thank you for having me. And, it's awesome. I like seeing channels grow, especially, as long as you've been working at it. That's impressive. And that's doing some really good stuff for you. And I definitely wish you the best, really do, because I want to see you. I want to see you do really well. I think that's one of the best compliments is just seeing you do really well. So, congratulations, gutter girl.
This animosity with Christy, I tried to defend myself, explaining why her and I had kind of become cold to one another. I don't know how else to describe it because we never had any sort of direct interaction that was negative. We never had any sort of confrontation or
Stuart.
anything, but I did
That was a watermelon jelly bean.
my best to explain to him what I could answer to that accusation. And at one point he I mentioned that, well, I can't say what I mentioned. He, as a result of that phone call, picks up the phone and calls his agent. I don't know why, still to this day. He calls a few people. I don't know who's on the other line. I just heard his side of it, and he's screaming at them. I got a sense that it was money, that he felt people had been stealing money from him, and that the studio had been ripping him off, and that he was calling himself like a whore, or he had been whored out. It
Yeah.
seemed like he was upset, but I did not at this point. This is maybe early evening. It was before the sun went down on the second day. I remember he took the phone at one point and called my
Yeah, yellow ones in here.
divorce attorney. I
See what they are.
had at some point prior to this got a divorce attorney, or not a divorce attorney, a domestic relations attorney,
Like a strawberry
to
cheesecake
do
or something.
a post-nup because we got married in February, and there was never any mention or talk from Johnny about a prenup, but I had had interactions with his sister, and so I thought, okay, I'll get a lawyer and let's do a post-nup. When Johnny found out about that, or when I reminded him of that in Australia, he went outside and called my divorce attorney and fired her. And said the only way out of this was death. Again. And I heard that already at this point, March 2015, probably $25 times. So he's screaming at her. He calls his agents. I hear him talking incoherently, screaming incoherently at my lawyer and his agent. He comes back inside, and I genuinely didn't know if he was still mad at me or if it was about me at all. I didn't know. It didn't seem like it was connected to reality at all.
Yep, pretty much. She doesn't know this.
At some point shortly after that, I have been saying to Johnny, you need to sleep. Let's eat some dinner, baby. Let's relax. Please, like, calm down. In my head, I was thinking that it would genuinely change if he just got some sleep. He needed to sleep it off. He needed to come down off the drugs. Clearly, the combination of what he had taken pill wise with whatever else.
Sorry, it's so jacked up, folks.
Was not good. I had recognized that sort of delusion. I'd recognized that sort of unattached to reality rage. I had
So this is an internet thing. I guarantee you, if I shut down my computer, restarted it, this problem would go away. Or it'd be worse. So screwy.
recognize the patterns of those kind of loops where he's yelling about things that
Hmm.
aren't even being discussed or talked about.
Like a key
I
line. or
knew
something.
already that he just
Wonder what
needed
that one
to
is.
sweep it off,
It
clean
tells
up,
you what they are.
sober up. And I thought we could. I remember I went to the fridge, I got out the steak so that they would, be ready to cook. And I got out some of the
What's that?
food I was
Apple.
going to put together for dinner. I went upstairs. I don't know if I came back down in my nightgown at that point or if that was shortly after, but the next thing I remember
Hey, you ripped your
is
nightgown.
coming downstairs and looking for him. We had an interaction that I can't really describe. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. He was just belligerent, throwing things, screaming at me. And I realized I was back on the chopping block. I realized it was back. I realized that the arrows were pointed at me again.
Yeah, her lawyer would have contacted
And
immediately to make that
tried
unattached
to
reality
defend
statement. She
myself. I
could
was
not
explaining,
refuse to make the
trying to
testimony
say
be
that
somewhat
Objection,
credible.
Your Honor, hearsay.
Not for to prove the truth of the matter. She hasn't even said it yet, but
Doesn't matter
try not to say what you're saying unless it needs it for context.
unless you need to say it because you got to say it. Say what you need to say, but don't say it because, Elaine was
Try to say
fucking
what
moron.
he's
I'll
saying.
sustain the objection.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
he was just belligerent. I don't know how to
Oh
describe to
crap! It's like a Granny Smith apple.
you because it wasn't making sense. It wasn't making sense. I don't know how. I don't know how the immediate next string of the next part of the violence actually even
Probably as stupid as
initiated,
you're
but
saying it.
again, he has me up against the wall, and I remember this time he slams me up against the wall hard. I mean, I hit my head hard.
Hard.
And
Hard.
this is a wall
Hard.
next to the, I say kitchenette, but it's more of a bar. I remember there were these cooling fridges, and
Things that didn't happen for $22 there, Alex.
I remember kind of being slammed up against those. I remember pushing him off of me. I remember the
She's been
name
slammed a
calling.
few times.
The horror, the slut, the fat ass.
Well, yeah,
I remember a lot of name calling.
just a lot of name calling. It was so horrible.
I said,
Had he been drinking by this time?
What's really
was
bad
Calls for speculation
that women are abused
and leading.
and
I'll sustain as leading.
You
What
making
if
up
any
this shit,
drinks
Amber.
had you observed Mr. Depp have by this time?
degrades the abuse that women
Well-
have suffered at the hands of a spouse.
I had already seen him drink right in front of me. Took a big swig out of a wine bottle upstairs, right in front of me as a
She's a
And
shit.
gesture of looked right at me and took a big swig out of it as a a show for did it
I do what I
right in
want.
my face to make a point. And
Mhm.
then when
I
I came
would.
downstairs, he was drinking from the bottle. I don't know
Sure.
what kind of liquor. I remember there
He
was
was
another
so
bottle
defiant.
open, and I was wondering why he was drinking both. But at some point,
At some point, I was heartbroken because I had no control
he
over
had me up
him anymore.
against the wall next to the cooling fridges, and I remember slamming my head up against the thing. He had me
Why were you slamming your head up against shit? Stop doing that. It's going to hurt. It's going to leave a
by the
mark.
neck, squeezing my neck, and it
squeezing.
got really nasty. It went from no one you. No one likes me. Everyone warned me about you. That's what it was. He started to tell me that everyone had warned him about
Hmm. Everyone's seen you with your legs open.
me and that he wished he had never married me, wish he had never met me.
Yeah.
No one
Well,
liked me.
I would
you
agree
know.
with him.
Was
We all wish you had done that.
childish, but I
Um,
remember
I
feeling
understand
really
why.
hurt. And
Crazy
then
Girls are awesome.
at
in
some
bed.
point,
Just lost a jelly belly.
I shove him hard to get him off me.
Hard.
And he shoved me back and he said, "You want to go, little girl?"
Oh,
Th- That I couldn't, as I sit here today, tell you if that happened before he choked me up against the wall, but at some point,
mhm. At some point you made up
Um,
the story.
I am in a like a struggle with him where I'm holding his shirt lapel, and he kind of just
Mm.
flings me, for lack of a better way to describe it, throws me across the room. I land on a games table, like a ping pong table. And I don't know if I was holding on to him or if he pursued me separate, but he gets on top of me on the games table and is just whacking me in the face,
Whacking.
like repetitive.
Mhm.
We struggle on the games table. I don't know.
Don't know the truth. Don't know how to describe a lie.
How we get up. I don't know if he pulls me up. I wish I could tell you, but we were in this struggle down in this games
Mhm.
room by the bar. And we had this conversation about the drinking, or argument about the drinking.
I wonder if she just has fantasies
he
about this.
holds
Like, if these are her fantasies,
up this
what
bottle
she wants to have happen to her.
to me, and I'm saying, did you drink this whole thing?
Because the reality of
Something
being
stupid,
physically assaulted by somebody
focusing on
else,
this detail, and he
I guarantee you,
is
it's
telling
not,
me that I can't
it's not,
control him
doesn't meet up to
anymore,
the
and
fantasy.
that if I really, if I really wanted to try, take it. And then he's like taunting me to take the bottle from him. If I
Good Lord.
really,
What a mess. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart that browser and see if that doesn't clear it up. Man, that's aggravating as all get out. Copy. Damn it. Copy this. Close that browser and see if I can't get it to start back up and actually work like it's supposed to this time. Man, it's unrelenting. See where we're at. Boy, that's just unrelenting. It just does not want to stop. It's such aggravating. There we go.
and he kind of just flings me, for lack of a better way to describe it.
Helter skelter. See.
Throws me across the room. I land on a games table.
Always
The
a pleasant
ping pong
face.
table.
Got that like I'm taking a dump look
And
on
I
her
don't know
face.
if I was holding on to him or if he pursued me separate, but he gets on top of
Yep.
me on the games table and is just
I
whacking
don't
me
know.
in the face, like repetitive.
I wasn't there. Like I said, I just have a hard time believing her bullshit.
We struggle on the games table. I don't know how we get up. I don't know if he pulls me up. I wish I could tell you, but we were in this struggle down in this games room by the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this conversation about the drinking or argument about the
Thing is, she's
drinking.
been telling the
And
same lies for so long that she will believe them.
he holds up this bottle to me, and you know, I'm saying, did you drink this whole thing? Something stupid, focusing on this detail, and he is telling me that I can't control him anymore. And
Yeah. Okay. I pause it for a second while I eat some jelly bellies. Maybe the feet will catch up. It's acting really sketchy. It'll mellow out here in about an hour. And then it'll start working smooth again. Mm-hmm.
that if I really, if I really wanted to try, take it. And then he's like taunting me to take the bottle from him.
Mm-hmm.
If
Things that never happened.
If I really want him to stop, why don't I take it from him? Go on, go on. Kept saying, go on, and kind of gesturing with the bottle towards me. And like he does that 2 or 3 times. I reach for it, he'd revoke it, kind of laugh at me. And he's holding out the bottle. I think like maybe the 3rd time or so I get a hold of it. I pick it up. And I slam it down on the ground right in between us. There's a tile floor, a white tile floor. And I smashed the bottle on the floor. And that really set him off. So stupid. Sorry. He's it was like a light bulb switch went off. He starts screaming. I don't know if he backhanded me or hit me normally. I don't really recall, but I remember it sent me down to the ground. I remember by the time I pick myself off the floor, I stand up. He's got a bottle in his hand. And he threw it at me. It missed, thankfully, but I kind of pulled myself back into the bar area. I don't know how much time passed, but at some point he had a broken bottle up against my face, neck area. By my jawline, and he told me he'd carve up my face. I don't know at what point in the evening. I couldn't tell you what sequence wise when that happened, but it was terrifying. It wasn't the first time he said that to me. He said that to me on the plane as well. But this time he was holding a broken bottle to me. I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did. I just remember him having me by the nightgown. I remember him flailing me, throwing me around. I'm flailing. This is after there were some bottles broken on the floor. I think this is actually after, again, forgive me. I wish I could remember the sequence.
Oh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must have been something before electricity, huh? You're okay. Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook in it.
Throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other, and I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me, and like I don't know, like an L shape. He's standing in the only way you can exit, so I'm kind of trapped in front of this sink, surrounded by bar on.
Sorry. Thank you. I boomered again. Gotta love it. So the image that she's painted is it's World War III in here. Cans are flying at her. Bottles are whizzing past her head. She's being violently attacked. There's no escape for her. She's dodging left, right. I mean, lucky nothing hit her. And then you see the scene of the cleanup. There's like a couple of broken bottles, some broken glass, no cans anywhere. None of what she's talking of happened. The way she described it. Really weird.
On three sides with him in front of me ish, kind of front off to the left, and he's throwing these bottles one after the other, and I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a real velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually trying to, I don't know, he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of
Mm-hmm.
in this struggle by the bar area, because I remember my feet slipping on the tile as he was slamming me from the wall to the countertops.
So she's slipping on glass. Yes, he's slamming her from wall to countertop. Mm-hmm. The scene gets worse and worse. Or the violence. Your lucky, charming gamer girl isn't with you tonight. No, she might join in. We'll see. It's still early. We're just chilling here, working our way through this. It's interesting.
At one point, he has me up against the wall and he's punching the wall. He had my, nightgown and it kind of ripped it off my chest. I remember at one point he's teasing me, taunting me that he has my my breasts in his hand. My nightgown came completely off. It was ripped off of me. So I was naked and I'm slipping around on this tile and trying to get my footing. And I remember slipping on this tile. Glass was underneath me, and I remember just trying to get my
Beth's
footing.
true
I
clear
felt
once she
really
joins, I bet.
destabilized.
I don't know.
Really vulnerable. I'm naked.
I don't know.
He's flinging me around, and at some point, I'm up against
We will
the
see.
wall, and he's screaming at me that he fucking hates me, that I ruined his life. Remember, I ruined his life over and over.
Well, the testimony is pretty compelling. The only problem is for whatever reason, the interwebs is acting like an ass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down my browser. So I'm going to disappear for a second, and what I'll do is I'll put some music up in the meantime, just so you have a little bit of music for the time being. No guarantee that it's going to play, but I am going to make it. Damn it. I'll be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. Lord. That was weird. I've been having all kinds of issues tonight. Even logging back into it was a pain in the ass. Normally it'll just come right in, but for whatever reason, it's being
C-U-N-T.
Yep, it is being that right there. Let me open this up and see if I got my history where we can just keep going. Where was that? Damn it. So annoying. Yeah, it's even taking long loading up there. Well, let's present this damn thing and we'll see what happens. So annoying. I hate this crap. I wish it would work like it's supposed to. Being just difficult. Like I said, usually it'll clear up after about an hour. It's been a couple hours and it just doesn't want to clear up. I've turned off all programs that could be running in the background, so that shouldn't be an issue there. There's nothing that should be running. Nothing that I'm seeing. Unless, let's close that. If it will let me. Nope. Let me close that. Let me close that. Certain programs just won't shut down. Share screen. There we go. See if we can't get back to playing this damn thing. Hey, Danielle. Awesome. Good to see you. Yeah, it's still on. I'm just having issues with the stream. It's acting funky. IT crowd. Yeah, I did.
Punching the wall next to my head, holding me by the
We'll
neck.
have
I get
Danielle here.
free from him.
Danielle
I
here
kind of
pretty
step
soon.
back
So
from him, and it's like
you know,
his
as soon as
energy
Danielle shows up, everything gets better.
shifted to the phone. There's a wall-mounted phone on the.
And see, this is where it gets crazy because there is, whenever they pull it up, there's no wall-mounted phone. There never was. Oh yeah, man. If Danielle shows up, might get
on the wall
somebody else
next to where
showing
my
up too.
head was, and he went from punching the wall to like realizing there was a phone there, and he picked up the phone and he's screaming. He's like at the top of his lungs, screaming, "I fucking hate you! I fucking hate you! You ruined my fucking life!" And screaming at the top of his lungs. He picks
No
up the
lies
phone
detected
and
there.
starts bashing the phone against the wall where I was just being held. And I remember kind of having some distance on what was happening and watching him do this. And it was like his energy had shifted, and I was that phone all of a sudden. And he was just over and over again smashing this phone into the wall over and over again, screaming at me. And I was watching the phone every single time he pulled his hand back. It was just breaking into pieces. I remember thinking this phone is disappearing, was smashing it to smithereens, just going into the wall. And at some point, he's on top of no phone, but screaming the same thing. "I fucking hate you. You ruined my fucking life."
Well, no lies there.
I'm on the countertop. It had me by the neck. And he felt like he was on top of me, and I'm looking at him in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. It was black. I couldn't see him.
It was so black. It was so gone. It was horrible.
Who's laughing now?
That's what I picture her looking like. Her just.
Who's laughing now?
I see it. I can see it right now. That's the level of pain that she's suffering. She's just all shot to hell.
And he was looking at me, and I was trying to get through to him. I was trying to say to him in some way that it was me. I was trying to get through to Johnny, and I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him at all.
There's still no tears.
My head was bashing against the back of the bar, and I couldn't breathe. And I remember trying to get up, and I was slipping on the glass. My feet were slipping. My arms.
So her feet are slipping on the glass. She's trying to get up. He's smashing her head into the back of the bar. And this is the night that Johnny lost his finger. Oh, we've heard the audio of what she had to say at the time. Yeah. It was, I don't think that it was admissible. Yeah, she went black with rage while she was assaulting him. I would say so. That much I believe.
Arms were slipping on the countertop, and I remember just trying to get up so I could breathe, so I could tell him that he was really hurting.
Really hurting me.
drugging me. I didn't think he knew what he was doing. I don't know how.
Here's where she gets into claiming that he shoved a bottle in her woohoo. Uh-huh. Not a tear shed. Not a second thought.
Sorry.
Not a tear shed. Oh, well. We don't find that out until later. Because they're going to have a break. And when they come back from the break, it'll be like, and that's the bottle. Or at some point, after a break, she comes back. She was like, that, I didn't know that was the bottle until I saw it. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. Please. I don't know. Please, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I
No tears,
couldn't.
still.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get through to him. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. And I don't know how that ended. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know what happened next. I don't understand.
Still not a teardrop. Still no tears. No matter how hard you try, sweetheart.
The next
You
thing
rub
I
your eyes, but you're
remember,
still not crying.
I always been over backwards on the bar, meaning my chest was up. I was staring at the blue lights and my chest was on this, my back was on the countertops.
Wait, was it your chest or was it your back? Your chest or your back was on the countertop? I mean, which was it? You know, my chest was on the countertop. I mean, my back was on the countertop. Ah, come on, sweetheart. Get your story straight. Stop your fake crying. Tell us what really happened. Where did he hurt you? Because I don't believe a damn bit of her story. None. Not finding it believable. She keeps saying this stuff, and it just every time she talks, it's like not believe the lies that are coming out of your face at all. Not a tear shed, not a worry, not a concern.
And I thought he was punching me. I thought he was. I'm sorry.
All right, let's take a break.
He was. Felt this pressure. I felt this pressure.
Mm-hmm. Say it
Oh,
4 more times.
pubic bone. He thought he was punching me. I just saw his arm. I could feel his arm moving, and it looked like he was punching me. But I could just feel this pressure. It was like it kept hitting. It didn't feel pain.
If you were getting a Maker's Mark bottle, you wouldn't be
Just
feeling
pressure on my
pressure.
pubic bone, and I
Like,
don't
Ben,
know.
can we make this stop, please?
I don't remember what I said. I just remember being really still, not wanting to move. I remember looking around the room. I remember looking at all the broken bottles, broken glass.
Everywhere. You remember the
just
time.
not wanting to move because I didn't know if it was broken. I didn't know if the bottle that he had inside me was broken. I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel
What?
it. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel anything. I didn't want it. I looked around and I saw so much broken glass that I didn't know.
So much pretty glass. Okay.
If he would know. If he would.
My Lord. So
Cause I wanna be a cowboy, baby. With the top lip back in the sunshine. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. West Coast chillin' with the moon. I wanna be a cowboy.
Danielle,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just getting off of work. I'm so glad to see my invite because this bitch.
Was it a
Oh,
day?
huh?
Was it a day for you?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I said I'm so glad you sent me an invite though, because this is like the part. I've been saying this bitch. I don't know if I can cuss this early in the whole thing, but
You can cuss anytime on my streams. I don't get worked up about it.
aw. Yeah, no. I was listening a little bit while I was trying to get myself together. And yeah, oh, I remember this part. I remember exactly where I was when I was watching this part of the trial. I was sitting on my living room couch and I remember her crying. And I remember sitting there, and I'm an empathic person. Like I would say I'm an empath. Like I can feel emotion, especially when somebody's being, I don't care what the situation is. And I'm new to this trial, at the time.
Right.
As we all were, but I felt nothing. I was
Neither
like,
did
hey,
she.
I felt absolutely nothing for her when she was crying. And I wasn't on either side. I could care less. Like I was still very new to this. And I was literally just watching it because my son was a fan of Johnny Depp. I was like, oh, let me see what's going on with this. And I saw Amber Heard. I didn't even know her name was Amber Heard. Didn't know she was an Aquaman. Didn't know anything about her. But I saw her crying and telling her side, and I was waiting for that. And I felt nothing for this woman. Nothing.
Like, I don't believe a word she's saying. It's good to see you, Texas Jim. Glad to see
Yes.
you.
I've been blowing her up all day.
Have you?
Oh yeah. No, that's my girl. Like I've just needed her today. So she's been right there for me.
Good.
Yeah.
I like people like Texas Jim.
She's a sweetheart.
I didn't know if he would know if it was broken or not. And I just remember thinking, please, God, please. I hope it's not broken. I don't know how that ended. I don't know how I got off the countertop. I just.
It's being a pain.
Remember it being in the bathroom. I remember retching. I remember the sound my voice was making. I remember I lost control my bladder.
What? Jeez.
Yeah, it's like all of the things that she's saying is just like, where are you pulling this stuff from?
Yeah.
It's like 20 different stories all combined into one. Like, there's glass, it's shattering. He's slamming the phone against the wall where my head was. He throws me chest down on the countertop. I mean, on my back, and he's I see his like arm just pumping up against me on a countertop. Okay, Johnny's not. He's what, 5'10", something like that.
Uh-huh.
So if she's seen his arm move on the countertop and she's laying on her back, she would be probably waist level. And me being 6 foot, even, I can't, my arm isn't short enough to do something like that. That's why I'm like, I'm not.
It's all physically impossible.
Yeah, all of the stuff she's talking about, slipping around on glass. There was glass everywhere. I was barefoot and slipping around on glass, and there's beer cans that were being chucked at my head left and right, and just left and right, and bottles, and
Yeah.
one line past me and smashed into this glass. And
like, maybe this is crazy, but if this happened to me and he did this to me, I'd be staring right at him and be like, and this happened, and like trying to make him remember. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be staring at the jury and trying to convince them, because they don't know me. But the person that supposedly did this does, you know?
Yeah, it's like she's trying to remember her lines for this thing. Thought, oh, she sounds emotional, but doesn't seem to. So, and rewatched and was, nope, not actually emotional. No, she doesn't shed a tear throughout the whole thing.
She just seems like she just works herself up. We can do that easily, you know?
She's getting herself worked up.
She's
but there's no
hyperventilating.
tears.
Yeah.
I remember just retching. I remember there was some blood on the floor.
Blood on the floor, huh?
I got up.
It's acting really funky. There's some sort of lag. It's internet, because you're not lagging for me. You're not lagging for me. I don't think I'm lagging for you. It's something to do with the interwebs. It's so weird.
Or maybe it's Amber Heard. We'll just blame her.
She's destroying it.
I don't know how that night ended. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember. I have a memory of him begging me not to leave. I remember going outside the front door. I remember him coming out to the front area, but I don't remember. If that was
don't remember the times. I can remember the Maker's Mark bottle, but I don't remember.
She's saying, I remember, I don't remember, I remember, I don't remember.
She has no idea.
She's still trying to keep up with those sequences of events to keep her story going, like you said.
For me.
Yeah.
I remember falling asleep, or
I remember the
I don't remember falling asleep, but I know it.
Oh yeah, I remember that song.
Because I woke up the next day.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
I assume it was late morning.
I remember.
Doesn't at one part, like, she goes, oh shit, like she realizes they're not believing her.
Yeah, I think so.
I could hear Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
Music.
Bring Marilyn in it. Poor Marilyn.
Maybe he said it was Marilyn, or maybe I could recognize it. I don't remember, but I became aware that's what I was hearing. It was blaring.
If it was Marilyn Manson or
Obviously,
Marilyn
when I
Monroe,
walked
what?
Downstairs, he was still up. He hadn't gone to sleep again. I walked downstairs and I saw this brown on the walls going
Yeah,
down
it was
the stairs.
called, your poop.
And the brown on the walls became clear, like it became clear,
What?
like lettering.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was obvious it was dried blood. He had written
down this, that we had a spiral staircase, like white cream walls. There's blood on the carpet.
But was it your blood?
I could see blood drips. I thought it was from my arms or feet, but it was drips.
Poor
So
Johnny.
that plus the wall writing, I saw this brown letters on the wall. And
Well, and here's the thing. If you listen to the recording afterwards, she's completely admitting to it. Like whenever they show up and or like trying to pull her off, this is whenever she took off his finger. Like she was so high, she does not remember taking his finger off. And then she realized it after the fact and was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I mean, she could, like, I didn't mean it. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah.
I love you,
So
Johnny.
she's acting like a blood surprise to her. Like you caused that blood.
Yeah, and she knows that stuff isn't going to be admitted into evidence because they've already excluded it, so they know that it's not going to get in there.
And then realized that he was trying, that it was meant to be a message, but it was incoherent. I saw what looked
Jesus.
like my name, but I really couldn't make out most of the rest of the message. Walking down the stairs, I saw.
Except she also wrote on the bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
Bird in the house. I thought that was surreal. I went down to the main level where my painting studio was, and I had some canvas.
Oh God, she is so just.
Is out. And it was in the living room area.
This is why I walk away from
by the
crazy.
time I got down to the bottom of the stairs, the dried blood had been kind of.
Crazy was great in bed.
Taken over by paint. It was
my God,
blue, navy blue paint, and then brown paint, and then it was.
Then it was poop.
You know, on the walls, on the lampshades.
He just was walking around drawing on shit. Delirium.
Yeah, he was in a lot of shock. His finger just got chopped off.
Yeah.
He's pissed off. He's in pain.
And she's...
And she's loving every minute of it. That's why she's still in the damn house.
Cushions. There was blood in the painting studio. The paint, my canvases have been covered with what looked like just brown, blue, green, red mess. It was just a mess. There was a painting that had.
And you added to it, bitch. Like,
you know, a
damn
painting
right.
that the owners had. That
God.
This level of crazy, Ron. That's the problem. You don't realize it's this level of crazy. That's the problem. You don't realize it's this level of crazy until you're already involved in them. Then you're like, oh shit. Like I've fallen for this person and I think they'll change. They'll change. They'll relax. No. This level of crazy does not go away.
People, they show you who they are, believe them.
You know, some other things was a table overturned, a bunch of broken glass on that floor. I walked downstairs. Where is it coming from? And that's where I found him. He was in the study.
I mean, worse things have happened.
By the bar.
I guess.
King's table area off to the side, and it was just glass and blood.
Courtney Clenny, come on.
Oh gosh.
And broken windows and a broken window, and it looked like a mess. The table was collapsed, and I walked into the study.
Girl, you just walked around all over glass, broken glass, and slipping on your own blood.
Bottles. I remember wondering where they came from.
They say the palm of your hands and the soles of your feet are the most sensitive areas of your skin.
Yeah.
I went to school for this.
And he just
She would have been all cut up.
wasn't there anymore. It wasn't there.
Well, and then
It wasn't.
supposedly she had a
Bonnie.
maker's mark rammed inside her vajayjay. We're not talking
Yeah,
about
that's
just like
bullshit.
a pint bottle. We're talking about the big.
He was standing at the
Big
office
bottle.
desk. He
And never went to the doctor to get
had his
nothing.
hand wrapped in this
No, 'cause
like
Apparently
rags
she's
or,
loose
you know,
like a
bandana
goose. No blood, no
rags.
damage, no nothing.
And
I mean,
That would mess anybody up.
he
If
took
you're
it
sexually
down, or
assaulted by
somebody
a
showed me,
bottle.
He said, "Look what you made me do. I
Yes.
did this for you." Something to that effect.
You don't stick around for
Yeah.
that to see the painting on the walls.
yeah.
She pisses me off. I'm sorry. That's why I came on here like, ooh, this woman.
Oh,
Put
kill
together,
this
it was
woman.
covered in paint, and I
In
put
Minecraft.
together that's
In Minecraft.
like he was using his finger. I quickly became aware that that's what he was using as a paintbrush, even though there was lots of paintbrushes around.
Oh, please.
Mm.
And we didn't have any sort of like coherent conversation, as you can imagine. I
Well, yeah, because you're
figured out
still
he was missing
hysterical and mad and pissed off and being a bitch. I'm sure there wasn't any
the finger. I
serious
held it up and
conversation.
I said, "What did you do?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? When?" And I realized in my head
Well,
that
that's
there had been many
that's
hours.
true. Well, because she said she wasn't sure if it broke off inside her, and
You
all
would
this kind of
know.
stuff.
You would freaking know.
She's like, I have no idea. And it's just like, really? And then of course they show the picture of the bottle later on. She goes, that was the bottle that I was assaulted with. Because
Was it all in one piece? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was sitting
That's
on
right.
it was sitting on a thing.
Oh.
You know, and here's the thing. If you attack somebody with a bottle, I'm just saying, you know, not from experience, but if you might like smack someone upside the head with a bottle, you
Yeah.
generally don't set it down nicely. You just would sort of toss it away as a useless tool, you know, or would have dropped it or whatever. We wouldn't have put it back on the bar cart where it was sitting. You know, this much destruction and all this destruction and horrible. I'm sorry. Might be okay if it was a broken bottle. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, we know. No, that's.
Jen.
I love it whenever Jen gets in here because she
I know.
stirs shit. I love
So funny.
it. It's just oh my god, like. Once you see the pictures of what this place looks like after it supposedly had beer cans or pop cans or what soda cans or whatever she was saying was being thrown at her like left and right, and there was bottles and bottles were thrown up against things, and it's like you look at pictures of it and it's just like, okay, there's just a couple of bottles like smashed. Like the amount of glass is very minimal. There's a phone sitting on a countertop. There's nothing hanging on the wall. There might have been one there at some point in time, but the wall wasn't damaged next to it. And it's just like, what in the hell? Like you saw, yeah, most liquor bottles don't break easy. No, they don't. But you don't set them back where you got them from if you used it to like violate somebody with it. I wouldn't think. I mean, I've never violated anybody with
For
it.
her to even come up with such a story, it just shows the intensity of her sickness. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's bad.
Since this probably happened, assuming that was happened with the phone. In any case, I knew it had been way too long that he had this blood, you know, that he was bleeding, and I said, I'm going to call 911 if you don't call Jerry now.
Things that never happened, of course.
I still don't recall which of us called Jerry Judge.
Isn't he the one that's dead?
Yep. Jerry G.
So how convenient for her to bring his name into it.
Oh, his name gets brought
in. He came upstairs, but he went up to the third floor while I was in the main floor, the entry level.
Oh, and Jerry Judd had a lot to say because he had his phone recording whenever he was there. Okay. He was the one that had his recording. That's why it couldn't be admitted into evidence, because it was his phone that recorded all of this crap, and she knows it can't be entered in, because if it gets entered in, comes out that she was the one that did that, and she admits to it, but she knows it can't be admitted. Right there, the opening to the recording. Yep. But do you call 911 in Australia?
Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. I just told Texas Jen that's who LC called when Shani lost her finger. He said he called 911.
Yes, and he couldn't get through.
So you can
because,
call 911. I think it's in England. It's like 119 or something.
well, in Australia, it's something different. Is
it different than 911? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
it's the same emergency service, but because he's been so Americanized from doing, Todd saying, just call 911. He probably dialed 911 and was like, what the fuck? Why is it working? Yeah, it's something like that. It's like 11 or 333 or something. It's not 911.
No? Okay. Well, I was wrong then, Texas Jen.
I
Sorry.
went to make him a cup of coffee because he was demanding more Red Bull. And I was thinking that's probably not a good idea. I don't know why coffee.
So she's talking about Red Bull and coffee, like under all these.
Yeah, as things are being, as he's bleeding out, she's getting ready to make him some coffee. Like, let me make you some
cup of
coffee.
coffee. Come on.
Oh, it is. It has been leaked.
Yeah, it has been. I know
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I heard that one, and that's whenever everybody's sitting.
You can tell he was a good man too.
Yeah, and Kipper
He
was
had-
one that was looking for the finger. They found the finger, I think, in the kitchen or something like that. It was so screwed up.
Oh.
Yeah, it was totally leaked, Texas Jen. And if you hear it, she's on that tape. She's admitting to everything. Just, it is so sickening. Yeah, I hate this damn thing. It's been doing this lately.
Like what, lagging?
Lagging bad.
Coffee would be so much better. But
Well, when it does that, we'll just take advantage of it and talk.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, I don't know, sober him up, or I don't know. Help was coming though. And I remember I made him coffee. As soon as I handed it to him, he threw it at the table.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't believe that.
And it was like back to
Unless he was pissed off and did.
Shortly after that, security arrives.
Be like, you cut my fucking finger off, bitch.
I don't know how long, maybe a few seconds or minutes went by.
Here, have some coffee. Calm down.
She's probably doing everything that she could to delay that emergency phone call about his finger. Here, let me make you some coffee. You want a Red Bull?
What was going on? And as they were looking at him and I, trying to figure out what the heck was going on, Johnny took his penis out of his pants and started trying to pee or peeing outside of the house.
You do that? It's a drunk.
That he had
Look at him.
For me. And this is
I love him.
Security.
I love that
just,
man.
Like, looked at each other and looked at him and kind of.
You see him laugh, Shiz?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw
He
it.
was like,
played it off. And corralled him.
It was like
how it looked. It looked like a wild animal. Back into the house
because he wanted to find his fucking finger.
With his penis still out of his pants, peeing or trying to pee. That's what he was indicating. And he went to the wall of the house. And I remember him standing at the wall trying to leave me more, saying he had more information for me. He was going to leave me more messages, more information for me. It made no sense. And Jerry Judge, his security, and one of the nurses, shortly after, I think they put me in the theater room, but shortly after, I remember talking to one of the nurses, and she was trying to give me drugs to.
Drugs are bad and kind, but women like this are worse. Okay? Just stuck with drugs, Johnny, and stayed away from her.
I just remember.
Would have ended up better.
I just remember crying and rejecting what they were trying to give me. And fighting with them about how much they were trying to give me. I felt like I needed to figure out what was happening with my life. What was happening with Johnny. I didn't know if he was okay. I didn't know.
And nor did you care.
No,
Had
she didn't.
no idea, like,
You have no idea, nor did you give a shit.
he could die from, if anything,
Oh, I get
just
so mad.
the drugs and the alcohol.
Oh no, that's
I mean,
well worth.
that alone, I didn't, I just remember being scared and being in this theater room, this dark theater room, and not knowing what the
Oh,
heck was going
please.
on.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I eventually was taken up to my room by one of the nurses, and they.
She was
One of
fucking
the
hysterical.
Debbie.
Because she was hysterical.
One of the nurses, I was in distress.
suggesting I go up to my room,
Come
I went
on.
to my room,
Ugh.
and I took a quarter of what she was trying to get me to take, and I eventually fell asleep. I came back downstairs to look for my phone, which Johnny had picked up before security came in. Picked up my phone and said, "We're going to get to the bottom of this." He wasn't making any sense at the time. I understandably just different. Nothing made sense. But he picked up my phone and was saying, I'm going to prove this. We're going to get to this. We're going to get to the proof of this. Something to that effect. I don't remember his exact words. And he pushed record on my phone. I didn't actually at the time think that he had done that.
Come on. You didn't think
had
at the
no idea,
time you're
but
such an
I
in
did know
control
that I did have my
person,
phone when I woke up.
as
I
you
went downstairs
say.
to get it. It
Oh,
was dead. It was sitting out on the dining room table by where Jerry Judge was sitting. Jerry Judge was on the phone and talked to me, and I went back up to bed. Took
Sad.
more of this,
Texas
sedative
Jenna, that mouth
and
thing
fell
she
asleep.
does. I know what she's saying.
Yep.
And then I think the next day, went to the closet and took
Yeah, there it goes.
Yep.
Look at it, Shiz.
out the clothes that he hadn't painted on. I guess when he went back upstairs, he had
I'll come next time, Asian.
just like it looked like what he had done is dip his
She
hand
can't
in a
cry
bucket
while
of paint
acting.
and
She
just
can't cry
wiped
on the
it
stand.
my clothes. Just went
Yeah.
and he had picked up another portion of my clothes and put them in the bathtub. And I don't know if he added paint or if he just had touched them with paint. But it was this ugly.
Oh, God.
brown,
That doesn't even make sense.
I packed
Yeah.
what was packable, what hadn't been destroyed, and
Packable. Yeah.
and eventually left.
I'm
it
not trying to
there.
pick her apart. She just makes herself
Bed
look
came
really
to be left,
stupid.
Yes.
on the way there.
She's a very intelligent woman.
More questions
Yeah.
about those 3 days.
That's
leading
what's
up to
making her look dumb is when she.
and going home. So,
Ah.
do
Ah.
you recall what bottle Mr. Depp was drinking?
Oh,
from
come on,
when
Elaine.
he had that back and forth with you and you threw on the ground?
Objection, Your Honor, compound leading.
Yeah.
Thank you, Camille.
Do you recall what the bottle was?
No, I don't.
She will.
Do you recall whether it was wine or liquor?
It was liquor.
Do you,
The wine was upstairs.
do you recall what color
Excuse me.
it was?
What does that
I
matter?
believe it was white.
Yeah.
I mean clear, but I can't be certain. I think it was clear.
Do you remember whether it
Please.
had a handle on it or not?
No, it was a normal bottle. I remember because he was holding it like this and gestured to me to take it. And I did try to reach for the bottle. It was a normal size, but for life of me, I can't remember like what brand.
Okay. When you woke up that third morning and came out of your room, what if any food?
What if any? God.
What if any food? Is that what she said?
Yeah. What if any food did you see? It's just like, Jesus Christ, Elaine.
Oh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must have been something before electricity, huh? You're okay. Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Oh, that's some funny shit.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Hal. Hal's the one that got that for me. Where
Oh.
is that? I'm looking to see if I can find it because someone did. Someone did a. Is it? I'm looking to see. I don't think I remember Joel's full story. No, because someone did like a little, like a video of it, and I wish I could find it. It was like one of those cartoons, and it's so fitting for it. Elaine, Mike, bars have wine, liquor, and beer. Mhm.
I'll be right back.
All right, I'll be right
There
here.
was mashed
Okay.
potatoes smeared all over the bedroom door, on the wall, in various places. But I remember opening the door and being really confused at first as to what it was. It had little like specks of green in it, I assumed to be spinach. And throughout the house, there was food rubbed in places, just countertops, walls, doors, as I mentioned. And later that evening, I found the raw meat that I had left out, the steak, all over the house. There were pieces of it. It was cut up. And he had ripped my nightgown into pieces, into shreds, and wrapped the meat up, like wrapped the steak pieces up with my nightgown. It was this really beautiful burgundy silk nightgown that had this black lace trim. I ironically got it from Dr. Kipper for a wedding gift. And it was wrapped, I found it, I continued to find it throughout the rest of the time that I was in the house in Australia. There was pieces of it in the microwave, pieces of it in the produce drawer, in the closet drawer. I mean, just raw meat wrapped up in my nightgown, as well as the smeared food on the walls. It was bizarre.
Mhm.
What, if
Wildly.
anything, do you recall seeing on any mirrors?
She says, "What if anything?" with
It,
everything.
written,
I know, because she doesn't have anything better.
written on the bathroom mirrors, in the bedroom, and I believe he had, there was another mirror. I just don't recall which bathroom it was.
Oh, here it is. I found it. So this is the one.
Oh, okay.
It hurt.
A leaked audio tape has revealed the
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't care. All right. Don't care. No. Stupid. Ridiculous. Horrible. Here it is. Maybe to get to the end here. It hurt. Yes, Johnny. And you did it, Amber. Third. He's smashed it. What do I do?
Oh, she's even still talking about herself in the chaos.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and it was so horrible. Like the way that she did that. Okay, we'll go back to the thing. Close that, and there we go. Yo, traveling fools. Good to
Traveling
see you.
fools.
Good to see you. Yo.
I suppose it was the one that I went to.
Amber, you stank ass slut. Just
Which is on the very bottom, where I was, for lack of a better way to describe it. I think it was in that bathroom that he also wrote on that mirror as well.
What, if anything, do you recall?
In blood and
I'm-
paint, sorry.
I'm sorry. What, if anything, do you recall of any lampshades being written on?
Well, he wrote on messages to me, things to the effect of "go get her."
I love his attorney.
Sort of thing.
Don't you?
he just
Sort
looked
of
like
language, but calling me easy, calling me a
Like,
slut,
really? We know this is bullshit.
calling me, you know, like just things about ego
No
and
lies.
what a
Yeah.
whore I was. And but it was hard
But
to
she
make
is.
sense of it because it was clear he was just out of his mind. It was,
You know, he never made her look bad at
he
all
wrote on a
when he was on
back of a
stand.
pillow
Nope.
blood.
Not
And you
once.
can tell because it dries like in this
I was
ugly
just thinking
brown
that. I
color.
don't
He
know.
wrote on the walls going down
Hey,
the
Dave.
stairs. Like
Good to
it
see
took
you.
Hey, Dave.
you could see where it looked like he had run out of blood because the messages
He ran out of blood.
You ran out of blood.
One does. Yeah.
the markings became clearly letters, and the letters kind of became like I could see where he had clearly run out of blood or it wasn't bleeding enough and went and got paint, and then it became paint and blood. You could see both. You could see where he went back with it.
Ran out of blood. You think there might be a
Layers.
problem?
I could see where all the dried blood was, and then I could see a different set of markings with paint and some other material.
It's because it hurts, you dumb twat.
Yeah.
Sorry. If
Yeah,
you've
there was
ever
that
cut yourself
very
and try to
brief
write with that
time in the
bloody
bar, I
stump,
noticed it's very
it's
painful.
gonna
Do
fucking hurt. You still have
recall
nerve endings
what
there.
Mr.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She loved it too. Girls like that love that sort of attention. Oh, you're
Yeah.
writing in blood. She loved that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
She was like, oh, your love for me is never ending, Johnny.
Look at him. He's embarrassed for her.
Yeah.
Fucking kill me. I'll fucking kill you. I said it to
He
him.
did not threaten to kill you.
No.
He's probably like, I could really honestly kill you right now. I've said
She's
that
looking
to
like
so
she's
many
taking a
people.
dump right
Over and
now.
over again.
She's just all.
Yeah.
He said, "I'll
My dog gets that
fucking kill
same
you."
look.
Did you
She looks like
bleed from the
a dirty
vagina as
Diana.
well?
Diana. Yeah.
And did you experience any pain later?
I'll tell you a story whenever we're not on here.
Yeah.
About Diana Ross.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was heartbroken. Eventually, I realized that I could be hurt because I was bleeding.
Okay. Never went to the doctor.
But I convinced myself it wasn't broken, and
Huh? Okay.
that the bottle wasn't broken, or else it would be a lot worse. And the
Uh-huh.
discomfort I was
What is
feeling
she talking
afterwards
about?
just paled in comparison to how scared, shocked I was. I'm scared. I just married this man.
God almighty. Every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds it's gonna do this stuff.
What do you need to do, Chiz?
I wanna
Is there nothing to do about it? Or like, I don't know.
If you hang here for a second, I'll restart my whole computer and see if that doesn't fix it.
Yeah, I'll hang as long as you want me to. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it won't- I'll just restart the computer. So I'll disappear. You'll be big screen.
Okay.
And you can like dance for people.
Oh, I don't know what to do here.
Oh, you got it. You got it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh no. Texas Jen, come in for me. All right, we're just hanging out until Shizzy refreshes his computer. Hey, Benjamin. Yeah, it's probably the router and other. The other day, I was doing a stream with MLS and it just completely went, like my power went out. So I lost everything. But then later on, his did the same. But he didn't lose the internet completely. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll try to my best to entertain y'all. Yeah, this whole trial changed my life. Like, without a doubt. You know, it's a shame to see people out there that are so evil. I mean, but I didn't know that from the start. You know, I just assumed that it was a celebrity feud and who cares, right? But it's much more than that. It's people's lives, and you know, it came out to be the difference between good and evil. And at the end of the day, good prevailed. So that counts. So, oh, I think I held it down. Oh. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, evil, you know, good won. So, and as it always does. Did you get it fixed, Shizzy? I think he's leaving me to here to do some more talking. Hey, oh, I'm here in support of Shizzy. He's getting his router fixed. He's trying to get everything back in order. So, hey, Hal. The Danielle show. For now, it is. Yeah, it's the Danielle show. I'm fresh off of work. I am here. Hey, Tia. See Tia Nina, my girl. Aw, everybody's here. I don't have much to entertain everybody on, but I can talk about this trial all day because I've educated myself on this a lot. I watched every minute of this trial. My family didn't eat for weeks. Yeah. God, I know the feeling. I watched this trial obsessively. Yeah, no, it changed my life, like completely changed my life. Made me realize a lot in my own marriage, you know, that I wasn't always right in everything and where I could have done better and stuff like that. You know, you got to learn from other people's experience. It'll save you so much, you know, in your life. So it's interesting. Aw, I love you guys. I don't know what to say. Just come back. He obviously trusts me to leave me alone on his panel. I just sent my dad a link to watch, so he's probably watching me like, Danielle, what's out? Last time he saw me on the experts channel, he was like, were you sleeping? I think I was looking down at my phone, like talking to chat, but it made it look like I was just out there, you know. So anyway, you guys help me talk about something. Mainstream media tries to control the narrative. Oh, absolutely, Tia. She said this trial really opened my eyes to how the mainstream media tries to control the narrative. Yeah, for sure. And like court TV had me screwed up. Like I was watching that. I remember watching court TV and my cousin was like, no, watch Ricada. And I was like, well, court TV is what's giving me all my information. And he was like, but Ricada Law could give you some too. So I was watching both until I just narrowed it down to Ricada. And the rest is history. That's how I found everything from there on with YouTube. But yeah, it opened my eyes a lot. And the Me Too movement and all of that. I didn't know it was such a thing that they were hey Lefty. Your reporting was so different from what I was seeing with my own eyes. Oh yeah, for sure, Tia. Oh, I'm so happy Lefty's in the chat. I feel like I'm out for everyone to see. I don't even know what to say or do. Well, we're trying to get this whole stream stopping from lagging. It was lagging. What does that mean, traveling Polish? Does he need to trade in that Commodore 64 and upgrade to it? Awesome. What is that? I'm lost. Aw. Texas Jen says exactly, Tiania. I remember going into the trial not knowing what to expect and heartbroken, thinking Depp was terrible. It was eye-opening. I haven't watched Emma since. Well, I haven't watched court TV since because they try to spin the narrative as well that Johnny Depp was this villain and that Amber Heard was legit. And I had to use my own premonition, like I had to go off of that because that's what mattered, at the time. I had to realize that this woman, when she was crying, like I was telling Chizzy, like I couldn't feel anything. I could not feel that this woman was sincere. And not that that's always right, but I just felt that something was off about it. And like I said, I went in there blind, not knowing anything. And we want to believe women, but Amber Heard proved to us that we can't. We absolutely cannot believe all women. And thank God, do we really want to? I'm not always right. I know that much. You got it going, Shiz?
Yeah, I couldn't get my audio to work. Like had nothing.
Nothing was syncing up.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going on and on.
No, I'm sorry to leave you like that. I was like,
oh no, it's fine.
I restarted. I came back in. I was like, okay, and then I couldn't hear you. I saw you talking on it, so I left, and I was like checking different stuff, and I was like, no, nothing. I'm so screwy. Good Lord Almighty. This is what you get for not being at your regular computer. I'm at some crappy laptop that, it's not made for this kind of stuff. It really is not.
I love your little background. It looks so nice and neat where you're at.
If you could see the rest of it, you would not think so.
Oh God, you should see my floor. You'd be like, Danielle, why do you live like that?
If I walk to that door right there, that leads to outside.
Yeah.
It is so bad. And right now I've got everything that is in my office is stacked over in a corner on one side of the wall. I've got a chest freezer. I've got a filing cabinet right here next to me. I've got.
This is your office where you're at?
No, this is my downstairs, the basement, living room, whatever, living space, because my office got flooded out and we're waiting on them to come and tear the floor out and replace it. And so it could be 5 to 6 weeks before I'm actually back in there.
Cool. That looks nice though where you're at. The lighting's beautiful.
Well, if that you see that black thing right here, that black thing?
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was. Shiz.
That is a bed frame. It's
a what? A bed frame?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the lamp. Is that a lamp though that I'm seeing?
You're seeing a lamp. That is a lamp back there, and that's where the purple lights are.
Okay.
And I've got them aimed in different directions. It was some cheap lamp that I've had for probably 20, 25 years. I was just like,
Okay.
you know, like I think it was like $10 or something like that I paid for that lamp initially. It was like some cheap Walmart thing or something, but it still
Wow.
works. But
Yeah, that's all that matters.
I just put some like inexpensive, like, what do you call them? LED that are color changing. You can like tell them to change.
Yeah,
colors.
you can. Okay. Yeah, I could never figure this out.
It was super cheap. It was an easy way to get like that background lighting that I was after. You know, I'm weird like that, I guess. Good Lord.
I'm likewise weird, so we had that in common.
That's very true. You do like the weird. You do love the weird.
I do. I mean, my gosh, I'm wearing a striped shirt with a striped beanie that's 2 different colors. But that, you know, I got off work and I was like, this will work.
It does.
Yeah. I'm punk rock. I can get away with it.
Exactly. As you all do.
Yeah.
Was that Trevin Full says not cool enough to have a Commodore. I had a Radio Shack TRS-80. Yeah, I remember.
Radio Shack.
My favorite one was the favorite game to play was it was a space game where you just basically would travel from space station to space station, have like these little battles and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I wasn't cool enough to get a Commodore. I remember the Atari whenever it came out. And then, you know, with a buddy of mine, Pong was like, wow. And then they came out with Space Invaders. Oh, Ash was, oh, yeah. So much fun. You know, we thought we were the shit, being able to like play games, and you could do them by yourself. It was so wonderful. Share screen. Let me open this thing back up and see if we got it working this time. Her in her face. I keep expecting her to sound like a Wookiee. Just.
And forgive me for asking this, but I need to just make sure the record's clear. You were penetrated up the vagina into the pubic bone, is that correct?
John, you're leading.
Yep, it's still not stopping the problem. Jesus. Quality. Maybe if I lower the quality on like 240.
You see what Hal said? He says, Shizzy, you missed it. Danielle danced for us.
Did you? Did you really?
Could you imagine? Yeah.
She said, totally, I did. You missed it.
Totally.
Interesting.
What kind of penetration was there in your vagina? With the bottle.
Oh, there was like dogs.
I'm so sorry.
Do this.
I am so sorry.
Oh, shit.
You're lying.
Sorry. Damn it.
Johnny had the bottle inside of me.
Liar.
And was shoving it inside of me over and over again.
Little D.
Yeah, hey, Pharaoh.
She's so horrible. I even lower the quality and she sucks the wind out of it.
That's what's going on. Her fault, not ours.
Yep.
Did you experience any cuts on other parts of your body?
On the bottom of my feet.
Arms were cut. My bottoms of my feet were sliced up pretty good.
Yeah, there's no record. Johnny goes, has his finger missing. He's at the hospital because his finger has been chopped off. And you would think that they would notice her feet chopped up.
It's always her fucking feet. I'm sorry, but it's always the feet she talks about.
Her feet would be chopped up. She would be bleeding from her vajayjay. Her arms would be cut up. She'd be bleeding from those. And I don't think the emergency room is just going to let her go on by without addressing those. If you've ever cut
And
your
there's
foot
all these
open-
nurses and shit in the house. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, so horrible.
bodyguards.
Have any other bruising or
Mm.
swelling?
I had a bruise across my jaw, I suppose, from the
I
the many
suppose.
times he clocked me in the face downstairs.
Yeah, no pictures.
I think I just didn't.
Oh, you like that, vajayjay? Jen was like, vajayjay.
I love her. She's so funny.
Make a record of anything else.
It's not the modem or the router.
Oh, the mouth thing. God, it is annoying.
To turn.
I think she does that because she knows that Johnny's just like, I just want to punch you in the mouth for the way you do
Yeah,
that.
or she's literally on drugs. You do weird shit with your mouth when you're on something.
Well, this is still that day on the stand where she took the little bit of.
I think Tia Nina's onto something. She knows. It's that yay yay.
I call it the gay or ya. Could be ya.
Yeah, either one.
Trust me, it is. If it was the internet, and I'll tell you right now, if it was the internet, both Danielle and I would be blocky. We would be looking really funky, but it's not the internet. Hey, MG, good to see you. It is not the internet. It's something to do with the stream itself. This particular channel. It's probably worn out like her vajayjay.
Let's go to
or ya. Or yay.
10. Well, actually, let's go to 18.
Because glassing is an assault with a deadly
15.
weapon.
Michelle, if you can bring that up. Defendants 18.
Mhm.
19. And I think these are all in, Your Honor, so if we
Yes,
could
yes,
publish.
they can all be published.
Wait.
Is this the game?
Okay, so this is the game room where everything was smashed up, where beer bottles were flung across, where
Glasses
cans
are
were
all
being
over.
thrown at her, glasses all over the place.
Blood all over her finger or her soles of her feet.
Oh yeah, she was walking through glass in here. 14.4. No, it's 56K. Good Lord.
Table?
Like, no.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And is this, based on your testimony, is this where you were you on top of this table?
Yeah, that he briefly got on top of me, and was pushing on my throat. Actually, at some point when I was on the table, I had forgotten about that.
I forgot about making that up too.
Forgot what part of it of shit.
So looks like it.
Oh
after-
Lord.
Yeah, she's getting the nasal drain right now.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff was cleaned up.
It's like-
It didn't look quite like this.
Yeah.
Did the collapse?
Yes, it did.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Oh.
Sustained.
What, if anything, happened to the table?
The table
It went. Sorry.
collapsed underneath me when Johnny.
No, because you tried to sit your fat ass on there. That's why it collapsed. She probably came over there and tried sitting down on the table and broke it and was like, "Oh, fuck, what did I do, Johnny?"
It's like, why is she even still around? Like, why is she even around? Like, if all this is going on, like, if this was to happen to me, I would have been out of there. While
Yeah,
he's painting his blood on the, which he did, whatever, we know.
Yeah. No,
You
I'm
know, he
talking
painted
if he throws a fucking beer can at me or a soda can or whatever the fuck.
yeah, whatever.
I'm out of there. I'm like,
I'm done. Bye.
Like, see ya.
Yeah.
Have fun.
But I had to walk 2 glass and my feet are all cut up. Come on.
Don't walk
What?
away from me, bitch. I'm walking away from you. I'm locking myself in another.
It sounds to me like she's following him around that place, making him a miserable mess. He's probably trying to get away from her at this point.
At this point, I think he's just sitting there like, what is your problem? You are high as a fucking kite. Don't call me a drug addict. That's not what I said. I said you're high as a kite.
Yeah, I didn't call you a drug addict.
It's like, oh, Jesus.
Threw me into it. Got on top of me.
Yeah.
Ow.
Fell on top of me. I honestly don't know which one.
We could look at 8.
She fell on him or he fell on her. I don't really remember which one it was either. He pulled me over on top. Really? You could remember that you were getting reamed out by a Maker's Mark bottle.
Spirit bottle, yeah.
Whether he fell on you or you fell on him. Oh, Jesus, woman. Your story makes about as much sense as two bulls having sex. Just
yeah.
1816, please, defendants.
Hey, Tia, good to see you. Sorry you had to walk in on that tirade.
Tia's cool. She knows what's up.
I keep expecting her to just go, bah!
What's depicted?
Whoever.
No. Oh, here we go. So here's the beer bottle, the bourbon bottle that supposedly without the lid that he violated her with. That exact one. Mm-hmm.
Without the lid, the one in the back. Where'd the lid go?
The one in the front. The one in the front.
I see.
Yeah, the lid's broken off inside her. So she said that the glass was broken that reamed her out to start out with. And she changes her story. Well, I was bleeding. Babe.
And I don't know if it was broken or not, right? She claimed that she didn't know if it was broken or not.
Okay. So
you would know.
You remember that phone that was hanging on the wall?
Okay.
This is the bottle she's accusing him of sticking up inside her woohoo.
Okay, what about the phone though?
Okay, remember she said there was a phone on the wall?
I do.
There's no phone on the wall. There never was.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I see what you mean now, Shiz. All right.
Yeah.
There was no phone on the wall. Mm.
No. I'm never going to dance again. Never, ever. Never going to do it. Never, ever. Hey, Megan, good to see you. Yeah, it's hard. I can't even think about having a drink of Maker's Mark after she said that. I mean, she could get a sponsorship from Maker's Mark. If it's good enough for my pussy, it's good enough for Maker's Mark. It's good enough for your mouth.
That's good enough for my pussy.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Well, congratulations.
Like, the bottles that were by Johnny on the desk.
Yeah, she's going to come back after the break. That was the bottle that he did it with. It wasn't the tequila
Came
bottle.
down that last morning.
She's so cheap. He used a Maker's Mark bottle on her.
If we could go to defendants 1817.
The bottle shape
we go.
The bottle shape.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't, I have not,
Go back to 1816, please.
I know that bottle
Honor,
shape.
I had,
Fused. Is there a question?
I was
to ask a question.
What more do you recall?
you had,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's that mouth movement again.
You know, that and on top of it's just so fucking laggy and shit.
sorry, it took me a minute to respond because
I have to believe there's a reason for it, though. The lagging.
this is hard. It took me a minute to respond because
everybody has clipped this goddamn section out. That's what's wrong.
I had not remembered seeing the bottle that Johnny was using on me. I didn't have a memory of seeing it. And this picture, I wasn't aware of until.
Really? I wasn't aware of this picture until you showed it to me. I've never seen this picture before. No, it just fit into your narrative, you psycho bitch.
Just the other day, yesterday, the day before.
Oh, so I never saw it, but until like day before yesterday or just now or sometime in the near future, past, present tense, something.
And I felt my stomach tighten up, like I was going to be sick when I saw it.
Okay. Stomach was tight. Like you're going to be sick. Okay. I bet you know about like the binge and purge, don't you there?
Because even though I didn't remember seeing the bottle, what I had remembered is a pressure, like something square, which is why I thought he was punching.
Good Lord, woman. But you didn't say that to begin with. I just felt a pressure like he was punching me, square like he was punching me. Okay.
Punching me? I was feeling the square, something firm hitting me, like butting up against my pubic bone.
Sweetheart, if that thing was hitting you, you would be feeling it inside your uterus. Lady, you are stupid. I have a bottle of Michner's here, okay? A bottle of Michner's. This right here is about, well, I don't know, like 4 or 5 inches. A Maker's Mark bottle is probably about 8 or 9 inches. And if you've got something that is that hard being rammed up in you and you're not prepared for it, it doesn't have smooth edges on it. It has wax all down the sides of it and it separates out. You are going to be feeling some serious fucking pain.
Absolutely.
Like it is going to be tearing you the fuck up. It's going to be, that wax is going to be cutting you all to shit. Because I've cut my fingers on Maker's Mark bottles before opening the wax up. Because that wax gets leaves little sharp edges on it whenever you peel the shit off. I'm just like,
Over and over again, I felt that pressure against my bone.
Was that just as bad as the criminal witness today who said on the stand that his testimony was based on the media and police provided information? Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Gotta love it. Regardless of that, it's a box. It is a box at the bottom of that bottle. Yeah, it is.
When it felt like a flat surface.
like it never happened.
But when I realized it was an object or bottle and not his fist, which is what I thought, because his arm, I could see his arm while he was holding me down, saying,
Okay. All right, I have enormous fucking hands, okay? I mean, really, really fucking large hands. This is a bottle of Redemption Rye. It is about half the size of a Maker's Mark bottle, okay? Width-wise. That bottle that she's talking about. For him to grab that bottle at the base and hold that bottle at the base, and if he's bleeding from his goddamn finger, ramming that thing up in there, he is going to lose grip. It's going to slide all over the place. One, the glass is slick, and also his hands, I'm pretty sure, are smaller than mine. He's going to have a hard time gripping that big clunky box at the bottom. Jesus Christ, woman. She just...
Mm-hmm.
I would love to just go. I don't drink Maker's Mark. If I did, I would grab a bottle and I would show you exactly the bottle, and you would go, yeah, no, just no fucking way. Next time you're in a liquor store, or just go look at the Maker's Mark bottle, and you're gonna go, yeah, there's no way, no.
he was going to kill me, but I thought he was, his arm looked like he was punching me. And I hadn't seen this bottle. I didn't know. And then this came out in Ben's evidence because he didn't share it until this date.
Objection, Your
until this
Honor.
trial.
Yeah, Ben didn't share this picture until just now. Lie. Good Lord, she knows she's fucking lost the jury at this point.
And so I recognize it.
All right, now let's go to defendants 1817. Do you recognize this area or this picture?
Oh my gosh. Look, all of the glass shattered all over the place. Everywhere. Oh my gosh, all the beer cans that got thrown at her. Holy cow. See all the little blood spots on the floor? That's from his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whenever I saw this, I was like, really? I was like, I've seen worse shit at a bar after closing time.
Yeah.
I've
For
seen
sure.
cleaner places at a bar after closing time. I've seen restaurants that look messier than that, especially if somebody's getting pissed off and throwing shit around. That ain't nothing right there. That is a clean fucking space.
Very.
Yes, it looks like one area of the bar.
Oh, God damn it.
Obviously, this is sometime later because all the liquid is dried up. It's quite slippery. I was slipping all over that tile. That's how I know.
On what?
Yeah. Where were you slippery?
I mean, were you
slipping?
wearing socks? Because by this time he'd already lost his finger. So, and you're supposedly bleeding from, all orifices right now. Your face has been smashed up. You've got cuts on your arms, cuts on the bottom of your feet.
Looks like a lot of the glass has been cleaned up almost.
Exactly. Wouldn't the blood be smeared if he was slipping on it, if she was slipping on it?
Yeah, and if the glass was cleaned up, there would be traces of blood on the floor.
That's like a perfect trail to where she threw the bottle at him and it cut his finger off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, which?
Yeah, I don't have that.
That's not in evidence.
Yeah, and that's a duplicate. It was for
Facts, not in
18.
evidence.
My apologies.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you recognize this?
So he's throwing all these cans at her. I still see a bunch in there. He missed quite a few. Uh-huh.
Yes, I do.
What is this?
This is close
This is
to where
what-
my feet were when I was dangling
Okay.
off the counter. When he
Mhm.
had me on the countertop by my neck, my feet were slipping on the tile, and I just remember my feet. I remember
Broom
feeling
marks
glass
across
underneath
blood
my feet and
drops.
slipping. I couldn't get up. I couldn't.
Yeah, broom marks across the blood drops. Exactly. And I wish I could show it in higher resolution, but it's acting really funky and flaky.
Alleviate the pressure on my neck as he was crushing me. That's around that.
It's around that time that I came up with more bullshit of a story.
Yeah.
Around next to that.
We can do this whole
All the
narrative
way
shit.
to the bar where I was standing when he was throwing bottles at me.
Sorry.
Did you burp?
Yes, totally.
20?
I'm right behind you.
Good Lord. I stopped at a little restaurant, had a hamburger for lunch today. You know how long it's been
Oh,
since
did
I've
you?
done something like that? Yeah.
What's depicted here?
Me, my son, and his dad, we went to Culver's. Have you
Yes,
heard of that?
To the left would be the.
We went there
where the,
today. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, this is a little place in our neighborhood. It's been there since for fucking ever. And they do pizza, but they also have
Nice.
like, burgers, fries, and like chicken sandwich and hoagies and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I'll stop in there and I'll get a slice of pizza. And then I was like, I really don't want a slice of pizza, but I'm not ordering a burger off the kids menu. I was like, fuck. But if they have,
Well, it's nice when you can order a slice of pizza because nowadays they make you do a whole pie, you know?
Oh yeah, they do it by the slice. Oh, and they'll put whatever toppings you want on it if you like mushroom, pepperoni, whatever.
Ooh.
And it's just like, oh, cool, that's super easy. But I saw that they had a burger, and I was like, that's what I want. They were like, you want any fries or anything like that? No, just whatever comes with the burger. That's all I want, just a burger. It's just like I've not had like somebody else make me a burger in probably, let's say, about a year and a half.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I make burgers, but
I was going to say you probably make your own.
yeah, I haven't had anybody else make it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think there would be blood just everywhere. As much blood as there was supposedly leaking out of her internally in her arms and her feet and her face and her anus and her lips and whatever.
Well, especially like the soles of her feet. I mean, come on.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
like the thinnest part of your skin. That and the palms of your hands. It's called like a lucidoderm or something like that. It's like the thinnest part of this and your soles of your feet will make that skin break and you would have some serious problems. I think you and Mo were talking about that last night with Sadie, like that whole interview. Something about that. Yeah. I don't know.
You missed it yesterday. We were going off.
Oh, I was listening. I wasn't in chat, but I was listening to you and Mo last night. Yeah. I've been listening to you and Farrell and everybody talk.
We're having such a great time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, you got it. Oh, got it. See, I can't do fast food. I can't do Wendy's.
Yeah, I can't either. I've gotten but I did eat Culver's today, but
yeah, I mean, fast food. If I go to, I used to do Wendy's, and I probably could. Wendy's would be about the only one that I could handle, but I can't do McDonald's.
McDonald's is awful and it's overpriced. I got my son a chicken nugget the other day, just a 10-piece, and it was like $14.
Well, and it took them an hour to make it, so you're paying for the labor.
Sure.
You know, they
Okay,
boosted everybody's rates up. Yeah, I mean, they got to make their money. They still got to make their money. You're going, oh, just raise the minimum wage. Okay, go ahead, raise the minimum wage, raise it to $1,000 an hour, and you know, next week your hamburger is going to cost you $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's they don't realize this yet. They're all overpriced. Yeah, they are. I mean, I paid what, I think it was like $6 for the burger or something like that with chips, fries, and I left them like a $5 tip.
Good. Tipping is very important. That's how I make my living. Like I depend on tips.
Yeah, they were just looking at me like I was insane or something. I was like, what? She's just like, oh my God. I mean, okay. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I was like, no, I mean, you guys are making me a burger. You're bringing it out to me. They're doing, you know, you're doing me a service. I'm not having to cook the damn thing. I mean, it's like, I'll take care of you. You take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Was
Oh.
right to the left of that.
Right to the left, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the left.
To the right of that is the little L-shaped bar that I was telling you about.
Where
I
you
was
call his
trapped in.
finger.
And when you say to
Let's
the
see the
left of the wall,
picture where the supposed phone is.
picture or on the picture?
So if you're looking at this picture, imagine up and to the left at person height, at site height, was and I don't know if it was
You get to
antique, but it
feeling
kind of
better.
looked old fashioned, like an old fashioned heavy. It looked heavy. I didn't pick up the receiver, but it looked heavy when I was watching it break. You know, it looked like these like really heavy glass. I mean, excuse me. It's really thick, heavy, not plastic, but like a Bakelite or something heavy material.
Sweetheart, you don't know what Bakelite is. Trust me. So not glass, but like Bakelite. You know what Bakelite is? It's what they make circuit boards out of. Sweetheart, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Like an M16 rifle butt, like the old M16 A1s that they had Bakelite on them. You'd also find it on like a lot of old World War II firearms and stuff. Yeah, she can't remember her lines.
Material on it. That's my best guess. So that would have been
Good
to
to
the
see you,
left,
Buffer
and then
P.
to the
Glad
right
you
would
can
have
make
been the very end of the bar that you just saw a picture of.
To the right. And there was this huge phone there, and he was smashing it into the wall, and that's how he lost his finger.
Let's go
Maybe
to 1821 defendants.
He's so classy. It doesn't even matter.
no, he's pointing.
I
out,
love Johnny.
He's pointing out. He's looking at the picture, and he's pointing something out. He's like,
photo.
Yes, that's the bar that I was just talking.
Here we go. So let's point some things out. So here apparently is where the phone is supposed to be. That he was smashing into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where she was supposedly having that smash. What do you see right here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a little phone. It's
well,
amazing.
that. Yeah.
How amazing. This is the phone, but there's supposed to be a phone on the wall right here that he's smashing at her with her, smashing where her face would have just been. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So believable.
Talking about.
Now I see a phone on the right side. Is that the phone you were talking about?
No, that's not. This is a wall-mounted phone. That's just a landline.
Huh?
And you see straight.
That's a landline. Wall-mounted phone. It's a wall-mounted phone. That's a landline. A wall-mounted phone would still be a landline, you dumb woman.
Ahead at the very, if you look straight ahead at the picture on the top part of that. It appears to be some broken glass. Do you recall, what do you recall of that?
I recall more than just this window being broken. This is one of the windows that he broke when he was throwing things at me. My body was standing in front of that little kitchen sink you see at the end of the picture. I suppose that's some of the glass I felt though on the backs of my arms. Like when the window shattered.
No, look, it fits her perfectly.
Go to 1822.
Mhm.
She had to be really tall then.
I don't have in evidence. 1822 is not in evidence.
That's exactly why I just went over here. Let's go to 18.
There's a question for you, Danielle.
Yeah. I was about
You
to
ever
reply in chat.
If you ever
Yeah, I know what a
used-
rotary phone is. My grandparents used to have one.
But do you
Where
really
you
know
dial,
what a
like
rotary
you
phone
have to
is?
like go in circles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. How?
Yes.
I can reveal my age.
Oh God, I could remember my grandmother still like in the late 90s was still using
Yeah.
one of those.
It was 90s when I saw my grandparents. Yeah.
And she was
And I
and
would
she was-
have to call home and I would have to use the phone, like the, yeah.
Mhm. Well, and the best part about it is my grandmother paid rent on that phone to the day that she died.
Bless her heart. Oh.
You know how much that was per like month? It was like dollars, like per month that she was spending on this phone. That, like, why do you still have this thing? She was like, well, I'm renting it.
Yeah. Oh.
Grandma,
Oh.
Grandma, I'll go get you a new one. Return this fucking thing to them and make them stop charging you rent. She's like,
That's crazy. See, I've
It's
never
like,
heard
what
of that before.
but if you, that's how the phones used to be. That you would, and they do them now too. They just change the marketing. So what you'll do is like you get a modem for your high speed internet. Well, you want to rent this from us? So we'll upgrade it as time goes on. They never upgrade it as time goes on. But yeah, you'll be paying that rent until in perpetuity. That's how they get you now.
So Hal asked if I ever used a phone booth. I have.
Yeah.
And hello, David.
Hey, David. Good to see you. How you doing, brother?
I need to get to streaming with him. He's been doing the Crumbly trial. And the past few days I haven't been able to, but I'm going to soon. Yeah.
Well, it is a bunch of fuckery going on with that trial.
It's got me so upset. Me and my dad sit and have coffee and talk about it. Like, it's got me so upset. It's probably good that I haven't been on.
Yeah, don't get upset. Just realize.
Oh, I do. Just the whole the circumstances. Like, yeah. What were you gonna say before I really cut you off?
No, it's don't be upset because there's a reason why they're doing this, and once you start realizing that these little prosecutors and the way that they're doing this stuff is to advance themselves, and they're going to use every little thing that they can to advance themselves. They do not care about the people that they're going after. They don't even really care about the victims. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. They don't care about the victims. It's about advancing their career. And to them, that's why they can remain completely like blank and stoic about it, because, it's just a paycheck for them. And the further they move along, the better. And if you can push across agenda of saying, guns are bad, okay, and we're going to go after everybody, okay, it doesn't matter, okay, we're just going to do things that are horrible to people, okay, because we're shitheads. Okay.
I just hate that this woman's sitting in jail. It just tears me up.
He says, why is Shizzy's voice so deep tonight? It's rattling the windows.
Is it deep, David?
I
don't think it sounds deep. It sounds normal.
Yeah.
He's driving. What are you doing, David?
He's driving and talking to his phone. That's why it said Wyatt Shizzies.
That is in evidence.
Okay.
How was Wicked dead, David? Oh, I thought you said how was Wicked dead. It says how
I
was
saw
Wicked.
dead too. Oh Lord.
Oh, sorry. Love that BBC series. As time goes on, if you play it for him, Sam, you can play it for me.
Do you recognize this picture?
Yes, that's a picture of my anus.
Yes, that's where Johnny was standing when I found him.
So there's a lampshade down here at the bottom. There's a little lampshade down here that he drew on. And I don't know. Looks like that could be something, but not really sure what it is. I saw a really cool video. I'm going to share it with you because it was hilarious. If I've got it.
Okay.
You'll laugh because once you see it, you'll go, "Oh crap, that's so silly." That's silly. Let's see if I've got it. There we go. Oh, that is such a cute picture. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What are you looking at?
Hold on. I'll share. There we go. I've got to remove that stuff off my screen though, real quick. Let's see. Move that off of there. All right. Here we go. Come on.
I
Come
love
on.
David's wife. She's so beautiful. Is that his
Look at
wife?
this. Yeah. She is
God,
gorgeous.
she's so beautiful. She's got the most like, I don't mean to say this like to be weird, but she's got the most amazing body too. Like she's in such good shape.
That is awesome.
Like goals right there. That's a great picture, David.
That is a awesome picture, David. I'm so.
And he looks so handsome, and she looks so beautiful.
I know this.
I love that.
Yes, I had to share
David,
that.
I love that picture.
I had to share that.
Yeah.
You know, David's good people, and you know, if you can't share someone,
and what a wonderful smile.
Yes, and they look so happy. Like I went with my wife and saw Wicked. Which was, if you haven't seen it, it's actually pretty good.
Well, now I have to.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not into the whole musical stuff at all. But
I love that picture, Shiz.
Yeah, that was a wonderful picture. I don't want to keep it up there because, you know, I don't need people going out and doxing Dave and stuff like that. Where is it? Bookmarks. Because there's a really
his wife is
picture.
So beautiful. They just look amazing together.
Where is it? I want to find it. Oh, here we go. So if you ever painted a wall,
which I do constantly.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Gotcha.
I've got it. So girls painting the wall.
Yeah. Oh, yep, there's me. I'm going to send you a picture of me with my green wall. Let me find it.
But you see her painting the wall, what she's doing?
Yeah.
Have you caught on yet what's wrong?
Oh, hold on, let me look. Am I looking past it? I don't know.
Do you see she's painting over the same spot? Do you know why she's painting over the same spot?
No.
Because it's a shadow.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, yep.
Now everybody gets it. They're just like, oh, geez. Yes.
That's so funny.
I was like, when I saw this, I was like, what is she doing? Does she not realize?
My neighbor just sent me a message. He's like, she's painting the shadow. He's watching too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is wrong with her?
Oh my
Crazy
God.
girl. But you want to see something that's really insane?
What is it?
This, and you can look this up. This actually exists. Okay, this actually exists. Watch.
Hey guys! We're going to be showing you the shrinking mill today in Port Colborne, and this is a mystery in Canada, Ontario that no one really knows how it works, so let's go. So just keep your eye on that big building back there and watch the size of it as we get closer and closer. Now normally when you drive closer to something, wouldn't you think it gets bigger? But in this case, it shrinks, hence the word the shrinking mill. But watch as you get super duper close. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Look how small it is. And we were all the way back down that hill, and no one even knows how that works. It's tiny.
All you have to do is look up shrinking mill, and it's true, it does. And the way that it actually works is your eyes get focused on that one particular spot, and as you're getting closer to it, there's less objects around, and so you're not focused in on it as much. You're focused more in like it actually starts shrinking. Yeah, damn shrinkage. It was cold. The water's cold. That's all. That's why. It's Canada. Come on, the water's cold. But that was pretty cool. I had to share that with somebody.
Funny.
I was going to show that tomorrow morning, but I said, nah, I'll share it tonight. I got Danielle here.
Aw. I need to get on with you and your morning show sometime.
Absolutely. If you want me to, I'll drop you a link. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm up.
Yeah.
I was in the pool, Purple Peace last. You got the best chat. It's so funny.
I was in the pool. I swear I was in the pool. Then, of course, it freezes because what else would it do?
That morning, it might have been like midday. When I say morning, it was after I woke up. It was certainly not.
Wait a minute. Okay, so what were you guys like doing this shit all fucking night? So, okay. So this shit goes on all night. This is the next morning whenever she wakes up about midday. And his finger's been chopped off for that whole time. Fuck me.
Early morning. And he was standing at that desk, behind the desk, with the Manson blaring. When I found him and told him.
I used to listen to good music. I love Manson.
I was going to call 911 if he didn't call Jerry.
I got turned on to Marilyn Manson. Shit. I was working a job in Indiana. I was working a job in Kentucky, but I was living in Indiana, but it was close to another town that was in Kentucky that had a pretty cool bar. And so I show up at this bar and I'm like, oh great. This is like it looked like high school prom or something. It was like it seemed like everybody was living their high school like fantasy or some crap. I was like, oh, geez, this is going to be horrible. And I go up to the bar, I order a drink. I sit down, I order a drink. The bartender pours me a drink. And of course, I've got all these tattoos and crap like that. And so she starts chatting with me and she's like, oh, why don't you come over and, talk with my boyfriend and just hang out. I was like, she goes, because these people aren't going to like you. I was like, why wouldn't they like me? I'm a nice guy. And she was like, yeah, trust me. And no sooner did she say that, some girl comes over and she like puffs her chest out and sits down and she goes, hey, my name is whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember. And she goes, you buy me a drink? And I was just like, no. She just looked at me. I was like, you buying me a drink? was like, because I think I'm probably like the commodity here in this place. Because I know that I'm clean. She just looked at me. She just looked at me and was like, "You're an asshole." I was like, "Yeah, you look like a slut."
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like an expert was talking about with like a bum coming up and, hey, do you have $1? You know, he's asking first.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, Volstorm doing that. Yeah, I used to do that out in Los Angeles, but I was just sitting there looking at her. I was like, "You realize that I'm like
You
the
just
commodity here."
assume they're gonna buy you a damn drink. Come
Yeah,
on.
I wasn't. I was like, I'm not buying you shit. Just like, and then
For you shows.
She came back over and she was like, yeah, she was like prom queen or some crap like that. She's probably working on her third or fourth marriage. She has like kids by different baby daddies, and she's just looking for the next sucker. And she was like, "Why don't you go over and hang out with my boyfriend?" So I went over there and chatted with him, and
you got along with him.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh hey, why don't you hang out until after the girl gets off work, and we'll go like
we'll go do our own thing."
we'll have the after party, which there might have been like illicit drugs involved and stuff like that, but it was just like, okay, after party. I was like, and so the bars in this particular town, they're closing up at midnight. I mean, it's not a late night kind of thing. And I knew I didn't have to work on Saturday, so I was like, sure. I head over there, and the first thing he puts in is Marilyn Manson. I was like, oh, I like this. It's pretty damn fucking good. Like, I like the music. And he was like, yeah, this is Marilyn Manson. I was like, I never heard of it. Very cool. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
And, and then we just shot the shit all night. And, I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I finally headed home as the sun was coming up.
Didn't walk on broken glass or anything to get encouraged by Marilyn Manson, did you?
No, it didn't put me in that mood. And I turned them onto some music too that they hadn't heard, which was cool.
That is always fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can only imagine if I would have bought that cheap piece of meat a drink, she would have just like been all over me like freaking crazy. And next thing you know, I could have ended up back at her place, and then next thing you know, she's going, "Oh, by the way, I'm pregnant." It's like, wait, huh? We didn't even do anything.
Yeah, I didn't even touch you.
Yeah. But you stayed at my house. Isn't that how this works? No, it's not how it works.
Exactly. Crazy. Yeah.
If you look in this picture, there appears to be a lampshade down below. Do you recognize that lampshade down below the table?
Yeah, that's what I wear on my head late at
one
night.
of the lampshades Johnny wrote.
I put it on my head and call myself bright. I wear it and I go, I am a little light bulb.
Messages to me on.
Okay. Then let's go to 1827. Do you
find pictures on them?
Yes, I do. That's my painting studio. So when I walk downstairs and saw all the blood on the walls, I walked into this room.
All
first.
the blood. It was bloody everywhere.
The stairs empty into this room. Kind of my painting area, and those are the canvases that he.
My little guy cries more than hers.
Repainted.
And do you see if you look by the white tablecloth table to the right of that, do you see a lampshade there?
Yes, I don't know if that's the same lampshade or another one.
Okay. Then let's go to 1828. And do you recognize what's in that one?
I do.
It's so bad. I should stop.
Those are my were.
So this right here, if I'm not mistaken, is a picture of her ex. A painting of her ex.
Yes. No, her ex made her that picture.
Of
And
herself.
I think it is like what you just said. It's her. Okay. Whatever. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
paintings. That I don't know when he did that, if it was before or after the writing on the walls, but he just
But here's what we're going to do.
doing them.
As soon as we run into a break, which is coming up really soon,
So
we're going to end the
I just want
stream.
to make sure. So the
Okay.
painting canvas that's dark colored, there's two of them there.
Well, there's
Well, there's a stall.
yeah, there's 2 or 3, and then there's
Right.
a smaller one in the in the center, and that was
It was a
his
what?
daughter. I was trying to paint a portrait of, and that was untouched.
Wait.
Okay. And then
Yeah, that isn't his daughter. That better. I think it was something over here, right here, that she was painting on this side. Is the portrait of her daughter that he left untouched.
but just so we're clear, the one directly in front of you that looks like it's just a lot of dark colors, was
Oh.
that dark colors before, or
I am a
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
It is leading, but
was that dark colors before?
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, change was there on that canvas?
oh, I'm a terrible painter, but I'm
oh Lord, come on!
not that bad. That was
I got this
not
new
my
side
painting.
gig.
It was the start of a portrait, and
Nice. That is awesome, Traveling Fools. Traveling Fools got a side gig hosting team trivia night at 2 different bars, writing
Oh.
questions and listening. Yeah, Traveling
Wow.
Fools, he does hard trivia. So it's like Experts is multiple choice kind of trivia, and Traveling
Yeah.
Fools is more like that trivia night that you find at bars. Like that's really super difficult, where you actually have to have a team to do some of these trivias.
Aw.
Because not everybody can know everything. It could be anything from pop culture to, politics, and it really varies, and it's like obscure kind of knowledge things. It's pretty cool. If you've ever seen Traveling Fools do his
Awesome.
trivia, it's pretty damn good.
And
It's
he's really
awesome.
good at trivia too. Like I see him in Experts, he wins. And
Yeah,
I
he
copy him sometimes.
It's like, how in the hell is he getting it? It's like, damn it.
Yeah.
He's just hip to all the pop culture, I guess. I don't know, or just retains shit. Like I can't. It took me forever to remember Danielle's name, and I still keep saying the wrong the trial that my wife is at for the next couple of days. I keep, her client. I call
I'm bad
her
with
name.
names too.
And she corrects me. She was like, "No, that's not his name. His name is this." I was like, she's like, "You do that every time." I was like, "Yes, because they're both a couple of assholes." Oh, nice. $200 a night and $30 bar tab. Shit.
Ooh,
awesome.
hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Changed it dramatically.
And then to the right side, on the other side of, more to the right than the one you already testified to.
Yeah, my cousin, he had whenever he was going to college, he was working as a DJ. Like he had his own setup, his own stereo system, and he would show up with records and play those. Sometimes he would do tapes, but generally it was records. And he had this 1967 Ford Fairlane or something like that, or Falcon. I think I think it was a Fairlane. It had like a 67 Fairlane and only like, 5 of the 8 cylinders worked or something like that. This thing was such a hunk of junk, but he paid $200 for it, and he'd load that thing up and he would go and do gigs, and he saved up enough money to get like a little Honda CRX that he paid cash for, and was like, yeah, and that's what he did. He paid his way through college just doing DJ stuff, showing up, and he would just play music for people.
Oh, that's wonderful though.
Yeah. He was cheaper than hiring a band to come in, and he didn't drink, so that was a good gig for him.
Even a plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what that picture looked like before, or is that?
Objection leading.
What, if any, changes were there to that picture?
Well, the 3 canvases were portraits, so they looked similar to the one that's in the center that I was doing of his daughter.
And the white that's below, what, if any, changes were there to that? The white canvas that you see there?
It just looks like the painting was, it looks like once he destroyed.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sorry. Just saying.
Was there anyone else in the house besides Mr. Depp and you?
Do you know what country you would have to visit to see the ruins of Troy? Trivia question. Do you know?
Do I know? No.
If I'm not mistaken, that would be Greece, if I'm not mistaken. Or, yeah, I think that's Greece, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Probably am.
Not that I know of, no, and no one was around.
No.
Do you have any reason to believe somebody other than Mr. Depp did this?
Objection leading.
What if any reason do you?
What if any? Come on, Elaine, get your shit together.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Turkey. There you go.
Oh.
You'd have to visit Turkey. See, this is why I would suck at trivia. My wife would have got that question in a heartbeat.
And your wife probably would have known the band that I just saw. Like, that was from Turkey. She passed away. I just saw them.
Okay.
Not well, it was like 6 months ago, but still.
She mentioned something about some band that I've never heard of. It's something Panther or something like that. Something Bone.
Yeah, she passed away. It's from Turkey, and they're like I'll have to tell you about it some other time. But yeah.
Okay. This is why I suck at trivia.
That was not.
That's why I don't do trivia.
What if any?
Charlie Fold was so smart.
Yeah, I'll overrule that objection.
Thank you.
It was just Johnny and I in that house over the course of those 3 days, roughly. There might have been somebody, his assistant or something, come on the first day or second day, I can't recall, but for the majority of for the entirety of what I've been describing to you, it was Johnny and I in that house.
And did you do any of this? Did you
No.
create any of this damage?
Oh, no. I've never do no.
Of course not.
No, it was all him.
Take a look at the white tablecloth to the right there.
And also,
all right, let me sniff a little.
To answer your question fully, that's also how I know.
All right. So I'm also just going to draw your attention to that white tablecloth over there. Does it appear to have some paint on that as well?
Yes, there was paint all over the place, to say it plainly.
No, the
That is
painting
way
that
cleaner than I keep my house.
indicated there was a large penis, I believe.
Come
What
on.
is that?
I believe it was just
A large penis.
like if you're looking at this, I believe it was on the wall, almost right next to the painting, directly center that we're looking at. That's my best recollection, but I can't be entirely sure.
Okay. Let's go to
He's
1828.
trying to contain himself.
Yes.
think that was 18.
It's whispering to Benchu.
Oh, 1829. My
He's
fault.
like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Look at Benchu. I would love to be in the mix of their conversation.
Good luck and be careful on top. At the top. Yeah.
Photo.
Yes, I do.
What's in it? And what was this?
What is that? A
This is
lampshade?
The
Yeah.
lampshades that Johnny chose as a medium to leave me messages.
Oh, I fucking hate her.
Yeah, you would have. I would have left messages too, except mine would have not been as nice.
Okay. Let's go to 1830.
God, I hate her.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. I don't hate people.
Do you?
I don't
recognize-
hate anybody, but this woman.
It's one of the bathroom mirrors.
Okay.
It looks like she's.
That is so badass. Like, I would want that in my house. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
If you could just look to the left.
And then, of course, here is where she drew on it in red, because that's not his handwriting.
Oh, that's clearly hers. I've even seen this analysis. Like,
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with this case for a long time.
Yes.
Over here. You see red.
Okay,
and
so what's
black.
Elaine
Would you
saying?
agree?
Get to it, Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't know what she's saying or
And
trying to get
there were
to.
some questions that were asked earlier about that red. What, if anything, did you write on this mirror?
Only
I
red
didn't write
shit.
anything on the mirrors.
So-
I'm
Oh,
confused.
she
as
just
anyone
lied?
Hearing that testimony.
And based on looking at this area that I have circled, is the black on top or underneath the red?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation, leading.
It's because they were trying to clean the shit off of there. Jesus. Calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection.
I sustain the objection.
All right, this might be a good time to take a break. Why don't we go?
Yeah, it might be a good time to take a break, Elaine, because you clearly don't know.
And take our afternoon break, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and have our.
Amber has to know that she's a dimwit.
Yes.
Fuck. I'm
And you-
sorry. Amber Heard, we already have our feelings about her, but
Well, and here's
Elaine.
this is I did get one of something that they didn't release in court.
really aggravated.
I really did get something that they didn't release in court.
I love you. You love me. Can I lick you where you pee? What?
Oh. God, I love him so much.
I love it too.
I wonder if Expert knows how much we love him.
He does. He better.
He has to. Where's he at?
Well, I actually didn't give him an invite. I mean, because he'll come in here, he'll derail it so fast. Like we would have got through like 5 minutes of that.
5 minutes of it, yeah.
So-
And that would have been okay. Aw.
But at this point, because it is 11 o'clock, I'm going to send all you fine folks that are still hanging out over here to go check out MG Law. He is streaming right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to go over to MG Law too.
There you go. You're going to have a good time tonight. Yes. And
Yes.
I'll see you in the back room. Later on.
I love a buttered biscuit.